828.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. Thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show. Montgomery still needs a new mayor. Eddie Vedder here in the studio with me today.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Bring the camera. Perfect. Soon, celebration of life for Lindsey Graham. Yeah, and they were, he was being, I guess, what is that called? Laid in state or?
Whatever. Not speaking ill of the dead.
Okay.
It's a struggle.
But essentially his coffin there in the rotunda, draped in a Capitol rotunda, draped in an American flag. Saw a short clip of Senator Britt, who obviously was good friends with Lindsey.
Mm-hmm.
Go up and paying her last respects, putting her hand on the coffin. Very emotional, obviously, just even from the wide camera shot. J.D. Vance gave a short speech in the rotunda about Lindsey Graham. We can go to some of that, but that's happening live right now. It's one of those things that's going to be covered all day as they are now. He's been moved to the National Cathedral, and so the proper funeral will commence. Of course, also in the news today, and this is, I guess, the biggest thing, as it came out yesterday, but it's the big show is tomorrow in the United States Senate in the committee hearing rooms. Rand Paul
that's right.
has called Dr. Fauci.
Fauci.
And finally, RFK Jr. was able to, at the request of Senator Paul and Senator Ron Johnson, finally get certain documents that had been hidden and put under sequester and all these different things in different parts of the bureaucracy.
New administration.
But a big thing that they found finally and gave over to Rand Paul's committee is Fauci's own personal diary.
Why would you have that? I mean, is that something you eggheads do where you write diaries for people to find later on? It just seems like it's evidence.
Yeah, I mean,
Just curious.
it's not necessarily an egghead thing.
Okay.
It's more a narcissist thing.
That's what I meant. Narcissist. I'm sorry.
All right. I mean, I'm not that narcissistic, am I?
No, but in part of our mental health stuff, I've done some journaling.
Actually, a lot of people tell me to journal. I'm like, why would I do that? I do a radio show.
When you go, well, same thing.
Yeah.
When you go back and look at, and I've done that and then burn them, the old journals.
Oh, you burned them?
Well, I had to.
And that's heavy.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
you
but
at least make s'mores over the fire?
No, it made me. I don't know. It kind of made me realize the person I've become and how much better, or at least I think a better person I've become. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it does give you that perspective of how you actually were, not just the curated memory of yourself
Right.
that you have in your own mind.
It wasn't it wasn't the happy memories. It wasn't the, hey, good time partying. It was,
Right.
It was me being real with myself. And
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff in this diary.
okay.
Let's get into a few of
Any
them.
salacious stuff?
Well, it just shows he was, even the people that have been his friends and defending him are like, oh my God. Because he's literally, maybe he's not literally masturbating, but he's mentally masturbating over the fact of how big a deal he is.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
I'm very important. Very important. People
Okay.
love me. No,
Well, but they didn't though.
well, but here's, if you're wondering, like, why was Fauci loving it so much?
Yeah.
It's been a while since we played something like this. This is a supercut of like how a lot of the corporate press that is slowly but surely, thank God, losing credibility by the day. Not enough.
Yeah, not fast enough, but it is going.
But this is like a supercut of how they all introduced Dr. Fauci on their shows.
Oh.
Let's listen in.
Most respected voice in the pandemic. It's Dr. Anthony Fauci.
The man who's become known as America's doctor.
The nation's top infectious disease expert, Anthony Fauci.
You are seen to many as a superhero.
Dr. Anthony Fauci,
American hero and New York Yankee fan.
You've done so much for this country in terms of this crisis, so I really appreciate your insight.
Who better to give us answers that we can trust than Dr. Anthony Fauci?
The perfect person to answer our questions today. Joining us now, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, appreciate your candor.
Dr. Fauci, appreciate the candor.
We appreciate your service to this country.
We appreciate your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Greatly appreciate your service to America.
Thank you for your 37 years of service, I believe, to 7 presidents, and thank you for your work over the past year.
The great news is you're sticking around in the Biden administration.
But do you remember Fauci? It took a while, but people started talking about, hey, wasn't this the guy that was wrong on everything that had to do with AIDS?
Oh yeah, people brought up
And-
why and the crazy experiments he did.
Yeah,
and
and
this
all that
stuff.
got pushed to the side.
Well, let's go after you heard all that.
Okay.
Fauci's private diary, March 2020, March 21st of 2020. Deaths, 9,800. And this is quoting Fauci. Quote, big front page article about me. Appeared in the Washington Post, very flattering. My national and international fame is explosive and really unimaginable. That's another quote. It is not hyperbole to say that today I am the most famous and talked about person in the country and one of the most recognizable persons in the world. March 22nd. Cases continue to soar, 30,000 in the U.S. with 400 deaths. Press is going wild with me, Fauci writes in his diary. Front page in Washington Post yesterday, an op-ed by Maureen Dowd in the New York Times today about me. Profile by Peter Nicholas on me in the Atlantic. He tracked the body count and his press clippings on the same page. I saw Dave Smith today, the commenter and comedian, say, Fauci for prison is the moderate position. I find that hard to argue with. But, you know, again, you might think it's crazy, but just listen to how they treated him.
We are so grateful to you, Dr. Fauci, for everything you do.
Thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you very much for everything that you do.
Thanks so much for the work that you do.
Thank you very much for the reassurance and, as always, for all of your public service. Thank you, Dr. Fauci.
Thank you for all your guidance this past year, and it's greatly appreciated.
Dr. Fauci, on behalf of all of our viewers here in the U.S. and around the world, thanks very much for doing what you're doing. Thanks very much for joining us. Please thank your entire team as well. We are all grateful.
Fauci's diary on February the 1st, 2020.
Okay.
Call that produced his proximal origins paper. There were 12 scientists on the line. Only 2 thought the virus was natural. The other 10, per Fauci's own notes in his own diary, quote, felt that deliberate insertion was possible, end quote. They flagged the Bat Lady, Xingli's gain-of-function work on coronaviruses in Wuhan by name. 8 days later, Fauci went on Newt Gingrich's podcast. I've heard these conspiracy theories, and like all conspiracy theories, Newt, they're just conspiracy theories. Then Facebook and Twitter banned you for saying the same thing his own scientists were telling him privately. It's absolutely crazy.
Embarrassing.
Fauci's diary, March 15th, 2020. I convinced New York mayor and Cali governor to close schools, bars, and restaurants. Fast forward 2 years to July of 2026. Fauci said on its show, first of all, I didn't recommend locking anything down.
Your rest, because we need you.
You are one of the busiest scientists in the country right now. It is an honor to have some of your time to help us understand what is going on. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions, so we appreciate your time, sir.
We need people to continue to have faith in science. So thank you for your time, sir.
Fauci's diary says he privately put COVID's fatality rate at 0.2 to 0.3%. Under oath weeks later, he told Congress it was 10 times the flu. On February 8th, in his own private diary, says case fatality rate more likely or more like 0.2 to 0.3%. March 10th on Hannity, the mortality for this is about 2 to 2.5%. It's probably lower than that, closer to 1%, but even if it's 1%, it's 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu. March 11th, in Congress under oath, the stated fatality rate of this overall is about 3%. If you count all the cases of asymptomatic infection, that probably brings the mortality down to 1%, which means it's 10 times more deadly than the seasonal flu. March 27th on The Daily Show, the mortality of this is about 10 times the flu, at least 1%. He wrote 0.2 to 0.3% in his journal, then told the public over and over again a number 3 to 5 times higher.
Sometimes, Joe, you have to exaggerate to get your point across.
Got to have faith in the science, though, right?
Thank you for being straight with us. Thank you for being able to come on. You will always have this show as a platform.
Sir, whenever you can be here, we'll have you. It's always an honor to have time with you. Thanks for being here.
It's good enough for you, sir. It's good enough for me and my family. So thank you, Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Fauci, thank you for keeping it straight. Thank you for fighting the good fight.
I am sincerely appreciative that you are not walking away from this post. You make us smarter and safer and better every day. Thank you so much, Dr. Fauci.
Dear.
In the journals or his diary, can you tell that his ego kind of gets in the way? Does it start showing?
He's literally tracking the amount of cases and deaths, and on the same page, he's saying front page of Washington Post today.
So what's the difference between that and say someone that rents an apartment in New York that's vacant and they got the posters on the wall where they're just psycho? I mean, that's all I can picture this.
This is evil behavior.
Yeah.
Evil behavior. It's one thing to get stuff wrong.
Sure.
Because there are a lot of people in real tough positions that get stuff wrong.
I screw up all the time.
But when you are actively, you see your job, and this is how I think he thought of it and would justify it. He sees his job requires him to lie. Better to scare the crap out of people and do things that probably I have no personal justification for, and even my professional colleagues don't think there's justification for, but it's our job to show that we responded with force, even if it ends up actually hurting more people in the end.
And being wrong, yeah.
So it's not about the science, it's about reputation. And then the irony is it destroyed the reputation of a lot of the public health institutions of this country.
Certainly did for me.
I can remember early on thinking, well, at least we got the professionals on this. What, do you want your aunt from Kansas to be on top of this? At least we got a Dr. Fauci. I admit to saying that like the first month in. And as I'm sitting there saying, and so are a lot of people, because people in that first week or two are like, what the hell is this? And he's sitting there writing in his diary, front page of the Washington Post.
Got him. Rubes.
Yeah. Fear's a hell of a thing.
Yeah, it is.
So the person that finally dug this up at the request of Senator Paul is Bobby Kennedy at HHS.
Oh, really?
Jr. Yeah. And so he went on with Laura Ingraham to talk about, this diary and what they found.
That was a horse face.
Laura Ingraham? I don't know. I don't watch her.
I can't either.
But I don't really watch Fox at all.
You're not old
I
enough
get the
yet.
clips and stuff like we're about to play, but I don't sit there at TV.
You're not old enough yet, son.
Yeah,
You'll come into the Fox before long.
Right, where we just watch it all the time. No, I already lived my 50s and my 20s, all right? Let's listen in.
You asked about the diaries, and we produced these. It took us about 8 months to dig these out of 11 separate servers where they had been sequestered and secreted, and we handed them over this week to Rand Paul and Ron Johnson because they already have ongoing investigations and should see this. But I think the starkest impression that you get from reading these diaries is this massive dichotomy between what he was saying privately and what he was simultaneously saying publicly. Mm-hmm. He says in his diaries on January 30th that the Wuhan lab could not possibly be the source of the virus.
Oh, we know that was all
And
false.
then, well, we all know it, but
Yeah.
now his diary, he says he knew that. And yet for 2 years, he told us that was
But he was
the case.
given.
But it wasn't just that. It was a lot of stuff. Like, and Bobby Kennedy's ready to go. What else did Dr. Fauci lie about? Well, Kennedy goes through the litany here pretty quick. And everybody knows this at this point, but it's also like we now have him. The news here is it's literally his own words that are proving what everybody knows. Here's Bobby Kennedy.
He lied about masks. He lied about social distancing. He lied about the transmission. He lied about natural immunity. He lied about the capacity, as you just said, of the vaccine to prevent infection. To prevent it. He got vaccinated, a very, very public press conference
I remember
in
that.
January of 2020. And then 5 months later, he had, and this is the first time that we knew this from the diary, he had a pulmonary infarction.
Wow.
Which is one of the adverse events that NIH, CDC, and FDA said are expected from the vaccine. He never told anybody. He got treated for it privately by the best doctors in America. At the same time, he was telling everybody that that was not an adverse event.
Is there anything else we're missing?
I love how Laura Ingraham just moves on from that.
Notice that.
But he publicly, very publicly, gets the jab, then has a true complication from the jab, doesn't tell a soul as he quietly is treated for that complication, and then is still pushing the stuff.
It didn't kill him.
It's evil behavior.
On top of that, and I think Rand Paul had brought it up. What about the financials of him and this?
Oh, sure. And the royalties they were getting?
Yes. Yes. Because let's be honest, we're humans. You follow the money, you usually find them.
Yeah, sure. Well, and I think, though, it's bigger than money with Fauci, because Fauci was making bank with the government and controlled. It's like he had his ability to control grants. It was almost like the billions at the disposal were his.
Yeah, he could put it wherever you wanted. Yeah.
Which, so I think at that point, what happens when you know, some people just want money and stuff or whatever. Some people want to be Elon and get to Mars. Like, there's all sorts of reasons for having a lot of money. But I think for Fauci, it's obvious from the diary, it's a power thing. It's a sadistic power thing. It's a pride thing.
Definitely pride.
And
definitely pride.
And so his ability to essentially destroy careers, to lift people up from the ash heap.
I wonder how many careers that man destroyed.
Oh, a lot.
Thousands.
A lot.
Thousands.
And you got to wonder with this system, not just personally him, but the way the system was set up, how many people are, you know, it's one thing to do something, like to actively push things like you did during COVID.
Okay.
How many things were not allowed to even research and whatnot, not allowed to get up from the start? And thus, there's all sorts of problems, say with Alzheimer's research,
Not only that,
haven't been solved.
just hospitalization in general. Remember that time
Yeah.
you had a loved one?
Yeah. No, it happened to my dad's dad, my
That's
granddad.
right. That's right.
Couldn't go see him. I remember after Jack Campbell had his stroke, I sat there and got checked and they scanned me and all this other stuff. And then when I finally got in front of he's already had 2 visitors today. You can't go see him.
You can't tell me that people didn't use that for control.
Yeah, they did. There are a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the problem is we're, 6 years later, 5 years later? A lot of folks, and I admit to this, at a certain point, it's like, we know this. I guess I care in the sense of when is he going to be put in handcuffs? I guess he's going to have to own up to all this stuff tomorrow. And if he lies in front of Congress tomorrow, then you better believe an indictment's coming down like lightning on his head. But you got to wonder how, because remember all those back and forths he had with Rand Paul? Senator Paul, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Someone like Fauci's not going to see his punishment here on earth.
Here, as we played with that supercut, Bobby Kennedy puts the cherry on top of all this.
That told us all we had to trust the experts, and that he was the expert that they elevated. And anybody who did not give complete blind faith to these expert opinions, which we now know were lies, was marginalized, vilified, demonized, censored.
Canceled.
Yeah, I mean, I pointed out that this almost certainly came from the Wuhan lab, and I lost my Instagram was canceled with 1 million followers for misinformation. I never put any misinformation up. I put up all the things that we now know are true, and it was called misinformation, and the press was part of this collaboration. It was corrupt, and it did tremendous damage to the media in this country and to America's faith in that very important democratic institution. It also did incalculable damage to public health.
And by the way, all this has come out.
Yeah.
Like your classic legacy corporate media, they're not
ignored
covering it at all.
Just like with Trump, was a week or two ago, we talked about the elections. It was ignored.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing they could do. I thought when the president called for time, he got time.
Nope. Gotta be on top of it. Now, here is tomorrow. It is going to be, and I look forward to playing it. We are going to play it as much as possible because I don't know exactly what time the hearings will be tomorrow. If it's happening live, we'll carry it live. But we'll definitely be bringing lengthy clips because I want to see this man in particular. I now see on my screen, Senator Rand Paul, who in this moment, though he is a bit of a nerd, look at this shot right there. Too cool for school. With the sunglasses
Broccoli
and the
hair.
jacket over his, holding the jacket with just 2 fingers over his shoulder like that.
That's the old broccoli hair, though, man. I'm not a big fan of broccoli.
You're not a fan of it? It's natural.
Is it, though?
Mm-hmm. What are you saying? He should wear a do-rag?
No.
Let's listen to this clip.
What did you take away from the Fauci diaries and what do you expect for Wednesday? You know, one of the biggest items that we found in there was that in January of 2020, he already was acknowledging that the virus didn't originate in the marketplace. For years, he's been telling it. If you interviewed him last week, he's probably still telling you the reason we think it came from nature is because they had these exotic animals, and that's where SARS came from previously. But he knew. He already knew. And we've known this for a while that other people knew, but we didn't know he actually knew and was acknowledging that it didn't. The earliest people who got COVID were not associated with the marketplace. The Chinese CDC was saying this in January 2020. He knew it. He told Dear Diary, but to the public, he commissioned this paper called Proximal Origins, and in it, they go on and on saying it's implausible that it came from the lab, and we're really convinced it came from these wild animals in the marketplace. But that level of dishonesty is really astounding.
And Paul, this is the thing, Rand Paul, in particular, I think this is personal at this point.
At this point, yes.
It is a public service, but it is very, very personal.
Well, it's something that he's known from the get-go.
Yes.
Couldn't really prove as much as he wanted to people like you and I. This is the case. Look, you cannot.
Well, he convinced me all day, every day.
Yeah.
I remember, what was it? The Bulletin of Atomic Scientists came out with like a origins story, and it was just so.
Oh, it was so ridiculous. I remember the wet market.
Oh no! They're the ones that exposed.
Okay.
That came up with this incredibly plausible, detailed research reason. No, it came from the lab.
To me, there was no way it didn't.
And Rand Paul confronted him about that, and then started confronting him about the gain of function. You remember that whole angle of Obama, to his credit, President Obama said, "This is dangerous. Let's not do this."
And what happened?
So they said, "Well, we'll just ship it to China."
Like you were talking about, those grants. I can get it done wherever I want to get it done.
And it reminds me of this other clip I have here that I've had for a few days, but it kind of like the way it's couched is. Did you know there is a shadow government?
Oh, here?
CIA whistleblower confirms shadow government inside the intel community. But when I hear this clip, I'm like, it's not just the intel community. It's every government institution. Heck, it's going on in Alabama because it's just the nature of government.
Yep.
You can call it democracy or republic or monarchy or whatever. You can call it whatever formal, look up your Aristotle about the 3 forms of simple government. You can call it whatever you like, but the people that actually work, live, breathe, and die that institution, that are careerists in there, they're the ones that run things.
100%.
Sadly.
100%.
So, but listen to this, because this is a perfect description of Fauci, perfect description of a lot of folks, yes, in the intel community, but across the board in many institutions. Let's listen in.
These records got a lot of attention. They were instant messages sent by a senior FBI official, Nikki Flores.
And this is, of course, having to do with the 2020 election.
And she talks about running a shadow government across the FBI at this point. Is there a shadow government?
I don't know if people say I'm part of the, like wearing their shadow government t-shirts in the building where they're like, I'm part of the shadow government. But there's certainly people who believe that they are the adults in the room and they're here to make sure that, you know, the political leaders that are in charge, we can't let them do anything too crazy. You know, we're here to make sure we temper their worst
tendencies.
Thank you. I think that in effect, what you have are people who act as a shadow government, whether they know they're doing it or not.
Also in this instant message, it says that all election-related IIRs, these are intelligence reports, must come through FBI headquarters. Does this show that there was an effort to keep all of this election information on a close hold so that they could control it?
Yeah, yes, of course. In my opinion, that's exactly what that means.
Well, and think about it, Fauci with his little fiefdom of folks.
Oh, sure.
And it's example after example after example. And honestly, this is how government just works, man.
Unfortunately, but it's true. Fiefdom.
It just is that way.
Yeah, but I don't mean I have to like it.
Oh, no, you don't have to like it. But there's a part of me that's like, people really want to bring back like kings because it would be better if we had a king, like a true king. No, I think my favorite selling point for having a king is we know who MFR's head we need to cut.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only benefit of having a king, but nothing changed. You just kill that king.
Yeah, and then you get another one.
We get his brother Leroy. I mean, come on.
And then you're probably going to hell for all time for cutting his head off. Right, because that was murderous.
What part of the big picture you're supposed to be
wrathful,
on.
and you should probably ask for mercy from God Almighty.
Probably so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I believe actually even God tells his chosen people, y'all sure you want a king? And they're like, yeah. He's like, by the way, if you get I'll give you a king, but if you get a king, this, and this other bad thing will happen. Like, yeah, we still want one. We want to be like the other nations.
Want to be told.
But there's something about there is a bit of extra accountability if you know it's that person. It's why presidents get a lot of credit and a lot of blame. So it's really the president running.
It's not. It's his admin.
Now they're narcissists, so they'll like take the praise and try to deflect the blame and all this stuff. But because it's such a behemoth bureaucracy that has taken over our society, it really is, well, you're in a tough spot at that point. Because it's like, whose head do I have to cut off? I don't mean literally. Don't go do that. We don't want to be the French. Like, that didn't work out too well. And there was recently a feast day in the Catholic Church. It was these nuns. It was near the end of the French Revolution, where these nuns wouldn't stop being nuns. Like, wouldn't recant their beliefs, wouldn't change. And so they're taken up to the guillotine. And it's like 16 of them. And the whole time they're taken up to have their heads cut off, they continued to sing this ancient prayer. And, you know, like the one, even with their head right in mid-sentence of a song, head chopped off. And they started asking their leader, the prioress, I'll go next. And they kept singing as they did this. And when finally came time for the prioress, as she continued to sing, her head comes off, and the crowd that had been rowdy and all this stuff, dead silent. Very soon after the French Revolution ends. So my point is, even in the name of justice and like we got corrupt governments and stuff like that, don't literally cut people's heads off. But there's something about being able to put everybody's finger, our democracy called our republic, our self-government, allows, when there's screw-ups like this with Fauci, they try to turn it back on everybody else. So I wasn't the one with the murder weapon. Your fingerprints are on it too.
But here's the thing. If something like that happens to you and you're associate of the crime, you're still charged. It doesn't work this way in government. We all throwing Fauci under the...
Well, and think about it. Fauci got a 10-year pardon.
It doesn't bother me because I know what he's got coming.
It's just crazy.
It's crazy, disappointing, but he's one man that a lot of people, fell for.
You know about Pest Pro Services?
I do know about Pest Pro Services.
You use them a lot.
I use them quite often.
In fact,
not
I saw
exclusively.
a Pest Pro Services truck, a good-looking truck. That's a good wrap job they got.
Oh, they do, and they keep them clean.
I saw a Pest Pro Services truck right outside my neighbor's house, getting it done.
Excellent.
So I know that you're actually, getting good service. But what have they done for you?
Well, for me, the biggest thing to me is the termites, because I don't have time to visit all the properties we have. So when I worry, or I don't even have to worry no more, I just know they send me a quarterly report and says, hey, Eddie, this is where we're at. We come by there. Most of the times I'm getting now clean bills of health.
Yeah.
Which I love that, occasionally the spiders. And then the guy came up last week. I can't think of his name, darn it, but he was blowing the mosquito stuff around. My neighbor come out and she's, I don't know if I guys told you, but she ended up getting that service as well. And she told me she was excited to hear him for the first time ever because she knew that he was coming over her place next and they were going to be able to enjoy their outside.
Finally.
Yeah.
Finally. Folks, you don't have to live that way with the mosquitoes getting all just itchy.
Yes.
And big welts on your head. They always go for my forehead. I don't know. I hate them. I hate it when they bite me there.
It don't look good.
And then like right on the top of the finger.
I get him on the knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with that?
No fun. So Pest Pro can take care of those nasty things. And they can just do great basic pest control services for you on a regular basis.
Right.
So check them out today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell them, folks, that Joey and Eddie, those fellows on the radio, sent you. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. Now, before I hit this break, this right here in my hands, because I'll go to the church after I get production work done. This is a Word on Fire Bible, and this thick thing right here is just the Pentateuch.
Okay.
Just the first 5 books. And so I've been working my way through it, and I'm at Deuteronomy. Now, it's at Deuteronomy chapter 8.
Mm-hmm.
And Deuteronomy chapter 3 says, He, God, humbled you by letting you hunger than by feeding you with manna, with which neither you nor your ancestors were acquainted, in order to make you understand that one does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. Why I really like this Bible is, number one, it's beautifully put together, and they're just brilliant.
Yeah.
But they have all these commentaries in here from very smart people, very smart Christians. And one of the more, let's say, based or conservative popes of recent is Pope Benedict XVI. So that one line, 8:3 of Deuteronomy, Pope Benedict writes, love, caritas, will always prove necessary even in the most just society. There's no ordering of the state so just that it can eliminate the need for a service of love. Whoever wants to eliminate love is preparing to eliminate man as such. There will always be suffering, which cries out for consolation and help. There will always be loneliness. Think about in COVID. There will always be situations of material need where help in the form of concrete love of neighbor is indispensable. The state, which would provide everything, absorbing everything into itself, would ultimately become a mere bureaucracy incapable of guaranteeing the very thing which the suffering person, every person, needs, namely loving personal concern. We do not need a state which regulates and controls everything, but a state which, in accordance with the principles of subsidiarity, generously acknowledges and supports initiatives arising from the different social forces and combines spontaneity with closeness to those in need. And the church is one of those living forces. She is alive with the love enkindled by the Spirit of Christ. This love does not simply offer people material help, but refreshment and care for their souls, something which often is even more necessary than material support. In the end, the claim that just social structures, as we're hearing especially from our socialist friends these days, would make works of charity superfluous, mask a materialist conception of man. The mistaken notion that man can live by bread alone.
Nope.
See also Matthew 4:4. A conviction that demeans man and ultimately disregards all that is specifically human. So anyway, I like this Bible. It has a lot of great commentary. And I have to say, Genesis is great. There's a reason people like read Genesis and then they read Exodus.
Right.
And then they stop. Because you get to Leviticus and then you get to the book of Numbers and you're like, whew.
It's kind of rough, Joe.
There's a lot of detailed programs for how to make garments and how to properly immolate and break down animals and how to sacrifice them. And it's actually very important. People go, well, why would we even need those? They're actually, no, very important for a Christian worldview. But yeah, Word on Fire Bible, folks. Check it out. It's pretty good. Has a lot of artwork in it, too.
Oh, that's cool.
Sometimes I need pictures because the words hurt my head. Anyway, don't let the state pretend like it can take its responsibilities for you. I love that point that it's not about just social structures and the perfect amount of regulation and the perfect public response to a health crisis and all this stuff. All these things have their place. But when you have one saying we can supplant your individual initiative and your individual love, which in many ways, think about how hardcore and heavy-handed the COVID regime was.
Yeah.
Well, watch out. And with the rise of socialism again in certain corners of the country, where the state is everything, the first thing they go after is God.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here are several ways to attract more buyers to your home. First, price it right to sell, not to sit. An accurate market analysis will tell you what price it should be. Next, prepare the home to show and sell by deep cleaning by a professional cleaner, including carpet. Declutter all rooms, including closets. Evaluate flooring, replace if needed. Paint inside and out where needed, and make the kitchen and bath sparkle. How about the exterior? Are the colors faded on the shutters or fascia? Power washing them and all sidewalks and driveways and patios prior to listing the house. Remember, your price and curb appeal will create a showing appointment. Your condition of the house will make them stay and look longer and buy quicker. For all the steps you need to take to get your house ready for sale, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 334-221-2883 or 334-551-0225.
Do you suffer every time you try to wear good-looking shoes, but you don't want to wear ugly shoes just because they're comfortable? The Good Feet store wants to help you wear heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. South Korea's Kospi Index has plunged almost 11% on heavy selling of chip-making stocks that have been battered recently by fear that the boom in artificial intelligence may be a bubble. The Kospi dropped to its lowest level since April as shares in chip makers Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix plunged. Analysts say a key factor driving the selling of AI-related shares is the expectation that rising competition from Chinese AI startups and chip makers might undermine gains for leading global companies whose shares have skyrocketed in the past months due to the AI frenzy. Shares of Johnson & Johnson rose 3% after the drug maker agreed to pay $5.5 billion to settle remaining lawsuits that claim its talc products caused ovarian cancer. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Will today be the hottest day of the summer so far? We have a heat advisory in effect. Mostly sunny skies, high temperatures 98 to 100. With excessive dangerous heat indices near 110, low tonight in the very oppressive range in the upper 70s. Wednesday's high, we'll say mid to upper 90s, excessive heat indices again. And the rain chances today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, very small. If I had to put a number on it, I would say 20% or less each day. Late in the week, not quite as hot, but still 94 Thursday, 93 Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits in the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or you don't pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, have you been to the Dylan Rings Facebook page lately?
I was there yesterday.
Well, if you look today,
Okay.
they've it's just a sneak peek of some of the current custom things they're making there at Dylan Rings.
All right.
Yeah, like Josh the jeweler, that guy is talented.
Incredibly talented.
In fact, this very pendant I'm wearing around my neck, he custom made for me. Really easy to work with Josh. And I'm looking at some of the custom work he's got going on right now, and I am seeing diamonds, baby. And what you're looking at here, if you go to their Facebook page, is a CAD rendering. So it starts with, I was sitting there talking with them about
Conversation, right?
the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the art of that, and like, here are some examples in sacred art tradition. And
Right.
so he was sitting there literally drawing on a napkin. And then he came back with a full, like, artistic rendering, like drawing he had done by hand. And then he came back with an AI rendering where you're like, okay, this is just much realistic without going right into the dimensions. You're like, okay, yeah, let's go forward. And that gets you to the CAD rendering, which are the exact proportions and pretty much exactly how it's going to look.
Right.
And that's what I'm seeing right here. A beautiful, beautiful diamond ring with so much, 2 different types with very intricate details on the banding. In fact, the band looks like it's 2 different bands wrapping around themselves with
that's
leaves falling off. Wow, that's beautiful. And the other has smaller diamonds inset in the bands. And it's like 2 stones that meet at the top. Absolutely stunning. One is an old mine cut, the other a brilliant cut. But you can see the exact proportions, how these stones, how these gems will be cut. It's really, really cool. Like seeing how the work gets done. And then once you finally have that final piece, I mean, you're going to be blown away.
Oh, yeah.
Like there is, and people are going to love it too. A lot of compliments about the custom jewelry. So check them out today. Get by 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey Nettie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Now, live, looking up on the TV, the funeral for Lindsey Graham is about to get underway in the National Cathedral. The president will be there. Looks like the entire president's cabinet is there. Like this is a day where everybody else is putting everything down and remembering Lindsey.
Right. That's how it's supposed to be.
Now, it started earlier today in the rotunda of the Capitol, and J.D. Vance gave a speech. Let's listen into a little bit of this.
I first got to know Lindsey Graham when I was on the Senate campaign trail for my own Senate race in 2022. And I remember riding in the back of the car with him. During these campaigns, you go from one event to the next and to the next event. And I remember learning a lot from him. I had a lot of people who campaigned with me during that time, but I learned something from Lindsey Graham, the way that he interacted with people, the way that he was so interested in what was going on and what was moving people and what was motivating them and what they were interested in. That affection and love of people was obvious even on the campaign trail, but so too was Lindsey Graham's world-class sense of humor. And in one event in particular, we had just left one event, we were riding in the back of the car going to the next event. Lindsey Graham told me a story about his time in the House. And if I repeated exactly what he told me, Darlene, it would be the end of my political career forever. But what I can say is that I was laughing so hard that by the time we got to the next event, I had abdominal cramps and I was barely able to speak because Lindsey Graham could make anybody laugh and he could make anybody feel at home. I was talking to, a mutual friend of ours, a person who didn't always agree with Lindsey Graham's politics just shortly after his death. And I expected the person maybe to say something critical, but he said, you know what? Even though we sometimes disagreed, I loved Lindsey Graham. It was impossible not to like him. That swashbuckling, infectious laugh, that attitude, that passion that so many others have talked about. Lindsey Graham was impossible not to like as a human being and, of course, as a United States Senator.
Kind of reminds me of somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now, Vance goes on. He talks about as they're on that campaign trail, and this is Vance's Senate campaign in 2022. Lindsey showed him how it was done after JD made a special request to the senator.
I remember on that campaign trail where, you're trying to raise money. And one of the ways that you raise money is you send people to your campaign website. And I said, Lindsey, before one of these Fox hits on the campaign trail, I said, Lindsey, could you maybe mention the website, jdvance.com? And over a 4-minute interview, he must have mentioned jdvance.com close to a dozen times. The host would ask, how was the weather? And Lindsey would say, well, before I check the weather, I always go to jdvance.com. And in a 4 or 5 minute TV appearance, Lindsey Graham raised us over $100,000. And that campaign stop was a critical part of me getting elected to the United States Senate and, of course, going on this incredible journey.
And that's the thing. These folks, we don't know them. They weren't colleagues of ours. But when you see all of Washington, D.C. assembled together, as right now we're seeing Graham's casket being carried from the hearse into the National Cathedral happening live on Fox. Well, it reminds you that, what is politics? Is it the philosophy? Is it the debates? Is it the power dynamics and the twisting of arms? Is it ideology, or is it relationships?
It's relationships.
It's relationships.
1,000%. That's how most things are in life. People don't like to boil it down to that, but that's generally what it is.
It is. Especially when, in many ways, you might be on the wrong side of certain things.
Yep. History, perhaps.
You might even be dog cussing one another.
It happens.
But then, you turn around and help one another. Again, here's the vice president earlier today.
I remember once I got to the Senate, getting in this argument with Lindsey, and as John said, as Leader Thune said, he was a fierce defender of Ukraine, and he and I got into this intense argument at a Senate lunch. I think some of our colleagues probably remember this, about a funding bill for Ukraine. And I remember at the end of it going back to my staff, and I was at the time working on a rail legislation that I really, really cared about. And I remember going back to my staff and saying, well, that's probably the end of Lindsey's vote on the railway bill, because he is never going to support anything I support after the argument that he and I just had. And of course, I found out a couple of weeks later from another Senate colleague that the fiercest advocate of that bill behind the scenes was Senator Lindsey Graham. Now, Lindsey was who he was, and I knew that Lindsey couldn't even pretend to care about rail policy. It was something I really cared about, but it wasn't something Lindsey was particularly focused on. And so I went to Lindsey and I said, why are you helping me? Why are you helping this legislation? And I expected him to do what so many politicians would do. I expected him to lie and say, well, I really care about rail legislation. And he said, oh, I don't care about that at all. I said, well, why are you helping me? And he said, well, I don't care about it, but you do. And that was the kind of colleague he could be, a person you argued with and fought with in 1 minute, but behind the scenes, without collecting an ounce of credit, was working for you and working for the things that you cared about in the next. That was who Lindsey Graham was.
And we're watching the casket being brought into the cathedral. And there's something about that moment, listening to the vice president, and that man's in that, or his body's in that box. There's the president standing next to the vice president in the front row, as you're now seeing Graham being brought in to the National Cathedral there in Washington. And though I hope and pray that we often go to cathedrals more than, when we're born, when we get married, and when we die, seems like even the folks that never even think about stepping foot in one of those buildings, you're there when you're born, you're there when you usually get married or give your life away in that way, and when you or somebody you love dies. the American flag being removed off the top, being folded. You know, Eddie, sometimes I wonder, like, you do actual work outside of the radio, but, you know, the stuff we do on radio and all the different types of lives you could live and job you live. Those soldiers right there, the lives they live and what they are there with that sort of respect in the worst moment of people's lives.
Yep.
That's where my mind goes, looking at this right now. Anyway, we got to hit our break. We'll be right back after this.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Senator Lindsey Graham being honored today in Washington. Graham's flag-draped casket spent some time at the U.S. Capitol this morning lying in state. The Republican served for more than 30 years on Capitol Hill as an expert deal maker. Top dignitaries on hand today to pay tribute at the Capitol and also at the upcoming funeral service set to be held at the Washington National Cathedral. President Trump is expected to deliver remarks there. Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu and Ukraine's Vladimir Zelensky also plan to attend. Also at srnnews.com, Americans' confidence in the economy fell this month as gas prices resumed their climb after the U.S. and Iran stepped up their fighting. Right now, the numbers on Wall Street are a mixed bag. It's the Dow doing quite well at the moment, up 669 points. The high-tech NASDAQ, it's struggling. It's down 201. This is SRN News.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-555-2085. 800-555-2085 or biglou.com.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Victoryland.
Giveaways galore all summer long. Diamond Days, Diamond Jewelry Giveaway, and TV Tuesdays TV Giveaway with $185,000 in free play at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama.
Rich Thomas Weather. Will today be the hottest day of the summer so far? We have a heat advisory in effect. Mostly sunny skies, high temperatures 98 to 100 with excessive dangerous heat indices near 110. Low tonight in the very oppressive range in the upper 70s. Wednesday's high, we'll say mid to upper 90s. Excessive heat indices again. And the rain chances today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, very small. If I had to put a number on it, I would say 20% or less each day. Late in the week, not quite as hot, but still 94 Thursday, 93 Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Montgomery police have identified the victim in a deadly Sunday afternoon shooting. Officers responded to the 4200 block of Amherst Drive just after 4 p.m. where 20-year-old Michael Hill was found dead from a gunshot wound. Police have provided no further details or any information on a possible suspect or motive. A father and son are in custody after allegedly robbing a man at gunpoint over the weekend. Tamarkin Adair Sr. and Tamarkin Adair Jr. are accused of robbing the victim Saturday night on Smythe Street near Highland Avenue. Court documents indicate Adair Jr. was armed with a pistol while Adair Sr. directed his son to take everything from the victim's pockets. Both father and son are being held in the Montgomery County Jail without bond. 2 of the Montgomery Zoo's Bengal tigers have begun treatment for chronic kidney disease. According to zoo officials, the condition is often related to aging. The tigers, both 14 years old, live in the Asian realm habitat at the Montgomery Zoo. Visitors may not see the tigers outside as frequently as they recover indoors to escape the summer heat. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Not all meat and three plates are created equal. At Epicure and Jack's Tavern, every meat and three is scratch made to order. No shortcuts, no freezer tricks. Just honest cooking with real ingredients. Once you taste the difference, you'll understand why theirs stands above the rest. Epicure and Jack's Tavern. Scratch made isn't a slogan, it's how they cook. Located at 2060 Downing Street in Millbrook.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Still looking up at the TV. It says musical prelude for Senator Graham's funeral. And apparently the president's going to be speaking here very soon indeed, which makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, actually.
272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. And there's all sorts of other stuff from 1819 News is out there. In particular, Erica Thomas has an animal story.
Oh,
her father says a dolphins, plural, stayed with body of Mobile teen until recovery efforts concluded, which is
I read that last night. Also went down a rabbit hole of these people in Florida that they go spearfishing a lot at night or bow fishing. Dolphins, they go with dolphins. Dolphins meet them at this certain place every time they go.
Got to wonder if we found a way to communicate, we would realize they're smarter than us.
Gerald.
But we've also got some update on the back and forth between city council members on this bond issue.
Oh, and the bond?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Glenn Pruitt and Aronde Mitchell giving a lot of quotes to 1819 News. So
okay.
We can get into that. But let's go to the phones. You said
All
this
right.
is James?
Yeah, we got James.
Hey, James, how you doing?
The bond issue. Doesn't that sound like fun, Joey?
Oh, it's so fun. $375 million for all sorts of hopes and dreams.
Let me hold $1.
Yeah, exactly. How many of those dollars are going to be held and not put in the actual structure?
I've noticed that too, James, on some of these things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Joey, as a good Catholic gentleman, you should follow this. There are two irrefutable truths that I have discovered. There is a God, and I am not him.
Amen.
Yeah.
From whence am I borrowing, Joey?
Like, pick Eddie.
It's a popular movie that you've probably seen a dozen times.
No, I'm not. No, it's not ringing a bell. Which movie?
Rudy.
Oh, good movie. Yeah, it's been ages since I've watched.
That was a good movie.
It always makes me cry.
Yeah, that movie.
Then again,
right,
I
and then
played a little football, so.
and then Sean Astin gets to play Sam in Lord of the Rings.
Yes. I forgot all about that.
Like, those two movies right there.
I
just
forgot
get
all
you.
about that.
Sam. You notice the hairdo in Rudy and the actual Rudy? See, he's dressed up like he's in the 50s in the movie, but it was actually the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So they were playing fast and loose with that aspect of the movie, all right? The time frame. They had it wrong about 20 years. Now, Joey, the problem with this Fauci thing, and I know you're well aware, the Karens and the Kyles that should be listening to this, in other words, those left-wing nuts that are sure that Anthony Fauci was whatever the media says he was some 6 years ago. They're not hearing the message that you're putting out there, or as some folks might say, they're not there with the goats as you're putting down the oats.
Yep.
And that's the really sad part. I mean, when I'm listening to you today, and I'm like, gosh, I wish I could get so and so. You know, as a matter of fact, I made a couple of phone calls to people. So y'all need to, hey. Of course, you know what happened when I made the phone calls, right, Joey?
What, they hang up on you?
No, they didn't answer.
Oh, they didn't even.
That's what I
answer.
figured. That no answer. Yeah.
See, they already know that I'm a right-wing nut.
Mm-hmm.
But at least we're on the correct side of the aisle, right, Joey?
I suppose, but sometimes I get tired of the aisle.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like the what the pastor laid down this weekend or last weekend for us. There are those that are hot, those that are cold, and then those that are sitting the fence.
Yep.
Little boy had this dream. You know what the devil whispered in the little boy's ear while he was sitting on the fence trying to decide?
What's that?
The devil owns the fence. You follow me, Joel?
Oh, amen.
I know you done got off the fence, though, right, brother?
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm more wondering, like, wait, now how many folks are still on the fence or on the other side? Where is everybody? Like, that's what I've been going through this week. And, I'm the last person to criticize anybody because I just came back. But I'm also kind of looking at what I took for granted as a kid. And I'm like, well, all right. Like Alabama, you assume is really religious state. We're at like 87% a few years back of identifying Christians, down to 73%. I think only 30-something% of the population goes to church weekly.
I think the word speaks on this, the falling away.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be a return, but there will be a falling away. You with me, right, Joey?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just every day ask for mercy on my own behalf. And, it's not my concern of, I guess when Peter's saying, well, what about him? What about John? It's like, what concern of that is yours? You do you, and you follow my orders, and, I'll work with John.
I'm following you.
Yeah.
We're also called to do what, Joey? Iron sharpens iron. So we're to admonish one another.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not easy. In fact, whenever I start thinking it's easy, I read the book that your name comes from, and I'm like, man, I'm not doing enough.
Well, the thing that concerns me is I need to control this tongue, like you said earlier, condemning. Sometimes when I'm rolling out my truth, there's very little grace there, or not my truth, but rolling out the truth, capital T. It's not my truth, Joey.
No.
It's the Lord's.
Well, I appreciate the call, James, and amen.
As they say in old England, ta-ta.
Hey, James.
Yeah, they're doing a full funeral procession. Like, this is a
real deal Catholic funeral?
I don't know if it's Catholic. Could be Anglican. They can look similar. It's been a while since I've gone to like a high mass funeral for a Catholic. But no, this is reminding me of Mom's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Except, Mom wasn't a member of the military. So
I was thinking of my grandfather's funeral.
Yeah.
Italian funeral. Catholic.
And the moment that really caught me is when my mom, or my dad's mom, Granny as I called her, Helen, when she passed away, and we were out at the actual gravesite, grave plot after the funeral, and I'd forgotten that she had served, because she was just my grandmother to me.
Right.
And she didn't serve her whole life. It wasn't like she was a career person in the Air Force, but she served she served her time honorably. And I'd forgotten. And here comes somebody with a flag, and they do taps. And I was bawling my eyes out.
Yeah.
Like, she did that service decades and decades ago, and they didn't forget. I don't know. I've made fun of Lindsey Graham like crazy because, you know what? I feel like Lindsey Graham would have made fun right back at me, and I would have gotten along famously with the man. And I certainly think there are moments, in terms of policy, especially war, I'm like, whew, different sides of that issue.
Yep.
But as I look at all those faces in that front row, from Justice Kavanaugh to Scott Besson and J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and Doug Burgum and everybody else, we all go, that's all coming for us one day.
Oh, it is. You can run, you can hide, but still there, buddy. I just hope, Joey, that next time I'm on a plane, it ain't somebody else's turn to go and not mine. You know what I mean? I don't want to get caught up in that.
You want to get caught up?
I don't want to get caught up.
Okay.
If it's somebody else's turn to go and we're on the same plane together, I don't feel like I should be part of that collateral damage.
He survived, but he can't use his legs anymore.
Would that be so bad?
Yeah, it would.
Actually, you're right. Oh, my goodness.
That would be awful.
Yeah, the whole survival part, I got to get past that too.
Oh, that would be awful.
You know,
but there's something, by the way, having this funeral, this like very ornate, formal funeral mass playing right now with the President of the United States looking over the casket of Lindsey Graham, it kind of makes it tough to do a radio show. It's like, oh.
It reminds me of my dad's funeral, and one of the strangest things that it always comes back. My mom wanted me to close the casket, which, okay, no big deal. I didn't realize how hard that was. As I'm closing the casket, and it's just me and my dad, I just happened to look down and realize, I didn't realize how short this guy was. He's like 4 foot nothing to me. And I, as much as I was crying, I was giggling, and I'll just never forget that. My dad to me was always a giant until that day I saw him in that box. And then he just become human.
And Lindsey Graham, a member of the Southern Baptist Convention.
Oh, yeah, I figured as much.
He was a longtime member and baptized at Corinth Baptist Church in Seneca, South Carolina. Very Reverend Randolph Hollerith, Dean of the Washington National Cathedral. And soon the president will be speaking.
Okay.
Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Soldier Boy.
Hey, Soldier Boy.
I got Mr. Bader. I got a story to tell you. You said you saw your dad being that short when he passed away. Well, I had an issue where I saw my dad at the wake, and it was the coffin was open right during the wake, and I started laughing real loud. My mom came in there and she says, "What is so funny?" I said, "Dad passed away and dead, and the SOB still got more hair than me."
I mean, honestly, I've had those kind of moments at funerals before and maybe it's just my sense of humor, but
my mom knew I wasn't being disrespectful.
No.
She said, "What are you laughing so much?" Because when you lose your hair, okay,
Yeah.
It's always it's DNA based on the men on your mother's side of the family. And when I saw my grandfather and my uncle Oscar, I said, "Oh, I'm screwed. I might save some money on those chemicals because it ain't gonna work. I'm just gonna live with what the man upstairs gave me and just live with it. You know what I'm saying? So It's like, but it was funny because he had a thick set. I mean, his hair was so thick. And I was like, my mom's listening here. What's so funny? I was like, Dad's got more hair and he's dead, and he's still got more damn hair than me. And I'm living, and he's got 10 times. Hey, tomorrow is going to be great television. Now, great television was the debate when Trump debated with Mr. Smallhands.
Oh, with Rubio, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And remember when he called Jeb Bush? You got all the money. Everybody wants you to win in the Republican Party. You know you're the front runner. You know you got all the money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. That was great television. But
Jeb is a mess. Jeb is a waste. Jeb is a big fat mistake. Whoa.
Oh.
It was just such a third grade burn, and it just burned.
He burned Rubio. Your small hands.
Yeah.
Kills me on that. That's great. But tomorrow, I think, has the chance of equaling great television tomorrow. We got the right man asking the questions tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, weighing sporting 5'1", 100 pounds of wimpy, Mr. Elf himself is going to have his butt on a grill because he's going to drill him. And you got to be, like you were saying earlier in your monologue and in your beginning of the show, you made a good point. Who's dumb enough to leave it unless you have just got an issue with your personality, okay?
Yeah.
That you have to create a diary? A grown man?
Garth Brooks, Chris Gaines. That's all I can think of, man.
You talk about narcissism. I mean, when you write a diary, I mean, it's just pretty. So tomorrow I'm going to have a 6-pack of probably Miller Lite, probably, yeah, chilling, and in my little aluminum bucket. I'm not going to use plastic because it doesn't keep the coldness that good. And then I'm going to have some popcorn. The kind you kind of shake over the oven. You know, I'm talking about the grill that pops by itself and this whole thing.
Jiffy Pop.
Yeah, because I tell you, popcorn. I tell you, it is better popcorn than that microwave. And I read so many articles about all the chemicals in microwave popcorn. I was like, I'm going old school, back to the old way of, shake it till I bake it. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny you mentioned that. A friend of mine who's a cancer patient in recovery, thank God, but his doctor told him after this, what they've gone through, do not ever eat microwave popcorn again.
A lot of people.
I did not know it was such an issue. Yeah,
it is. I mean, when you go ahead and Google it, AI it, it's pretty heavy and bad. I don't know if you. So that ought to be good television.
Well,
tomorrow.
and just 30 minutes ago, Rand Paul tweeted this out: a live look at Anthony Fauci, and it's a picture of Anthony Fauci with a room filled with pink hearts, and he's holding pink framed. Yeah, Anthony Fauci, loving him some Anthony Fauci.
He loves him some Anthony.
Oh, there he is ready. Wow. Like you're talking about good TV. Like they've been preparing this and pump it up for a few days now.
Wow.
Well, his lawyers got to be briefing him. How many times he's going to plead the fifth tomorrow?
That's what I'm wondering too. So, boy.
Because he's not, but you can't plead the fifth when your dang books and your handwriting is in your diary. And did you hear what else happened too? They have released, a federal judge said that we can release and listen to the audio tapes of Mr. ex-president, Joe Biden. That ought to be some good tapes right there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, when he was
interviewed, by the DOJ, wasn't it the DOJ?
Mm-hmm. And they said they wouldn't prosecute him because he seemed like a sweet old man. Yeah.
He's a sweet old man and everything. But now that ought to be another good 6-pack of quality. And it won't be television, but it'll be audio, of course. That'll be good. So that, I mean, this is going to be good TV coming up, really. But tomorrow, Rand Paul, I've seen him sometimes. He's pretty tough.
Oh yeah, man. And like I said earlier, this is at this point very personal.
Mm-hmm.
Like really personal.
Oh my, yeah, and they're talking. He needs to keep his mouth so shut because he's going to be on the edge based on what he said the last time. They're looking at perjury right now before they even question him because of the last time he had a question by Rand Paul.
Yep.
because it doesn't match exactly what he has in his book, just the opposite. They said he was so egotistical. They said in the White House he would hand out cards to the press and invite them, if you ever want to interview me or write an article about me, just let me know. I mean, this guy was so ate up in ego, it was pathetic. And have you heard the new thing about Marlena Trump and Barron Trump?
Oh, the Iranians going after him?
Can you believe that?
I can.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question about it. Now, you think Mr. Trump hasn't? Now it's personal. It's personal now. You're going after my family?
Oh, yeah.
It's not. I guarantee it. He was a little compassionate, giving them, he didn't want to hit their infrastructure, didn't want to hit their bridges, didn't want to hit electricity. Like he said, I don't want 90 million people without electricity, without bridges to get, their food and water and stuff like that. He says, I don't want. But you can't tell me now. You've had official threats over the internet of my wife and my son.
Well,
and now it's going to change your thinking a little bit. It's got to, Joey.
And Soldier Boy here, the president is about to speak live at the Lindsey Graham thing. We'll go to that, but appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Soldier Boy.
Vice President Vance, members of the cabinet, members of the House and Senate, distinguished guests, Darlene, and the entire Graham family. We love you all. Today we gather in the deepest gratitude and profoundest sorrow to honor a beloved friend, a devoted brother, a respected statesman, a giant of the United States Senate, and a true American original who left us much too soon. And that can only be the one and only Lindsey Graham. By the strength of his steadfast convictions, the force of his magnetic personality, and the goodness of his noble town in rural South Carolina, a place he loved so much, to become a constant fixture of American politics at the highest level, and a force to be reckoned with all over the world. For more than 30 years, nothing of consequence happened in this capital without Lindsey Graham knowing about it. Nothing of significance happened anywhere in the world without Lindsey Graham having a view on it. And no bill became law in the most exceptional republic in human history without Lindsey Graham having a say in it. He was a man who gave America the full measure of his good and mighty heart, until that heart itself just gave out. But even though Lindsey's life was cut short while he was still so full of vim and vigor, there can be no doubt that he lived absolutely to the fullest. He died doing the work he was born to do. He was truly a great politician, serving the country he loved to serve so deeply. He went out at the peak of his career and the top of his game as a legend that every one of us, many of us here today, are blessed to know him, and a friend that none of us will ever forget. There was truly nobody like Lindsey Graham. It was his hometown of Central South Carolina that Lindsey first learned the art of politics. His parents ran a bar and pool hall on Main Street with a room in the back where the family spent and slept and did everything that you had to do. As Lindsey said, his father taught him the key to being a successful bar owner is that you have to be funny enough that people will keep coming back, and that you have to be tough enough that you can stay in business and thrive. A very difficult combination. For his entire storied career.
Well, for some reason, the live feed stopped working. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's incredibly unfortunate. It's a very important thing that just stopped. Anyway, President speaking live there. Let's see if we can get
That's
back.
exactly who Lindsey Graham was.
Yeah, no, it's continuing to break
Lost his
down.
feet, huh?
Oh, well.
Wife of one regular patron called the bar asking for her husband. She demanded to know, where is he? The man instructed Lindsay, tell her I'm not here. And young Lindsay nodded and said into the phone to the wife, he said to tell you that he's not here. That was Lindsay. When Lindsay was just 20 years old, he lost his mom to cancer. 15 months later, he lost his dad. Their deaths left his 13-year-old sister, Darlene, an orphan. But in God's mercy, she had her wonderful brother to take care of her. On top of it all, Lindsay became her guardian while still in college and helped raise her. He later said that for all his achievements, and he had many, his single proudest accomplishment in life was how well Darlene turned out. He had total respect and love for Darlene. Nothing could be more fitting than that woman who was Lindsay's proudest legacy now continues his legacy of service in the U.S. Senate, a place that he cherished. And I have no doubt that he's looking down today, beaming with pride at his sister, Senator Darlene Graham. Thank you, Senator. Lindsay first stormed into Washington with the Republican Revolution of 1994, becoming the first Republican to win his House district in 120 years. That was Lindsay. In 2002, he ran for the Senate in what should have been a loss, and he swept to an easy victory. Lindsay quickly became a master at maneuvering in one of the world's great legislative bodies. He secured record funding for our military as a budget committee chairman. He delivered the largest investment in border security in history, and last year he shepherded the passage of the largest tax cuts in American history, the Great Big Beautiful Bill. Had a lot of Lindsay goodies in there too, I can tell you. And of course, he was also a great champion of the United States Supreme Court. His impassioned defense of a wonderful person, a great gentleman, Justice Kavanaugh, ended a disgraceful attack on this very good man and gave us one of the greatest moments the Senate has ever seen. It was a truly monumental moment in Senate history. I believe it was Lindsay's perhaps finest hour. But no matter how heated things got in Washington, virtually everyone, Republican or Democrat, liked Lindsay. Well, not everybody, but it sounds good. Not everybody. He was a tough cookie, okay? I have to veer from this for a second. He was a tough cookie, Darlene, but he was beautiful. But he was also ready with a joke and a gleam in his eye. After being lectured on the excruciating details of patent law by a fellow senator during a flight, Lindsay declared that he had discovered a new form of enhanced interrogation and torture for the Guantanamo Bay area. He said, this is really bad stuff and boring. And while he was an incredibly hard worker, he was not exactly an early riser, as many of you know. When Senator Tim Scott, a great gentleman in his own right, I can tell you, invited him to prayer breakfast at 8:30 a.m., Lindsay told him, Tim, if Jesus himself comes back before 10 a.m., I ain't going. Yet, while he was always quick to laugh, and no one ever doubted the gravity of his mission, above all, Lindsey Graham believed in a strong America. He wanted a strong America. He had unwavering faith in the righteousness of American power and prayer. And he was extremely hawkish. I will tell you, he never saw a war that he didn't like. Only his true friends would understand that, but he wanted it for the good of our country. He felt in his bones that our destiny is to win, and that his job was to do everything he could to ensure our enemies would lose. It was this conviction that led him to serve 33 years in uniform in the Air Force and Air Force Reserves and Air National Guard, even while he was in office. And it was this conviction that took him as a senator to almost every country on earth, confronting America's adversaries and standing up for America's friends. He had tremendous friendships all over the world. It's a testament to his towering impact that among those mourning him here today are leaders, presidents, prime ministers from all over the globe. They're sitting right here before you. Lindsey met countless world leaders, yet wherever he went, he was always the same Lindsey Graham. When he met Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi in a tent in the desert, he told him, "I expected something out of the Arabian Nights. This looks more like a Winnebago." That was not a good statement to make at the time. And when he met the Dalai Lama, Lindsey looked him straight in the eyes and said, "So, can you really levitate?" The Dalai Lama was not happy with that. But no matter how high he rose, he never forgot where he came from. There's probably not a single town in South Carolina where Lindsey did not help repair a bridge, expand a school, improve a hospital, or recover from a disaster. He was a force of nature, and I will miss him greatly. As you remember, Lindsey and I did not exactly get off to the best of starts, running against each other. Back in 2016, Lindsey said something rather nasty on his flight to becoming the next president of the United States. So naturally, I did something that I shouldn't have done. I shared his personal cell phone number with the millions of people that happened to be watching that particular day as I made a speech, a very important speech. And I remember the number 202-228-0292 if anybody wants to give it a shot. His phone exploded. He said, "I had that number for 20 years. His phone totally, I don't know what he did with it, but it exploded. That was the beginning of a friendship in a way. But it was Lindsey who had the last laugh, because while I blew up his phone for one day, we became great friends, and Lindsey did not stop calling me for the next 10 years. It was not easy. I always cherish the memories of our golf games, and only because of his really, and I will say, this memorial service, it's so hard to say, a memorial service for Lindsey, it's hard to say. But I'll admit that one time Lindsey Graham and Annika Sorensen actually beat me and Gary Player together. Can you believe that? Annika played very well that day, actually. But right to the end, Lindsey carried in his golf bag the putter that once belonged to his dad, and he carried it with him with class and with a ring that was so beautiful of his mother. And they were laying right at his bedside. The night he died, they were there. He had him with him at all times. From that pool hall where his parents raised him to the halls of the United States Senate, where he was respected and loved, the son of South Carolina became one of the most important men in the most important country on earth. In a city where politicians often become jaded and cynical, Lindsey Graham never lost the old-fashioned American idealism that brought him to the highest levels of government and life. He took his duty seriously without taking himself too seriously. He was unwavering in his principles, but always willing to listen. He always wanted to listen. And one thing about Lindsey that we all know, he never quit. You wanted him to quit, you waited for him to quit, but he would never quit. Above all, Lindsey Graham loved America, and he believed in the American people. If you shared that view, you had a friend in Lindsey. If you didn't share it, there was no fiercer or more constant opponent. Our nation needs more men and women like that great person sitting, laying, wherever he may be. I think I know where he is, and I think he's up there. I think he's watching us. I'm pretty sure of it. Scripture tells us that blessed is the man who remains steadfast under trial, for when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life For 71 years, Lindsey Graham was strong and steadfast. As a brother, a senator, a warrior, and a patriot, he withstood every last test, every single test that you can go through and every trial. And now he wears the crown of life in heaven, reunited with his parents and reunited with his Lord. I end by saying something very, very special. Lindsey, we love you. God bless you. We will always be with you, and you were very, very special. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And that was happening live, President of the United States there at the National Cathedral for the funeral of Senator Lindsey Graham. We got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
You may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
What are you getting? Still deciding, but I do know on August 11th, I'm choosing Rhett Marcus for Congress. Why Rhett Marcus? Because he's a true conservative, endorsed by President Trump and Senator Katie Britt. Oh, then you can trust him. And he's a small business owner, not a politician. Sounds like this choice on August 11th is the easiest decision we'll ever make.
Remember to vote on August 11th. I'm Rhett Marcus, the Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Rhett for Alabama.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a man from outer space.
What's up, Earthling?
I see you've landed your spacecraft over there in that field.
That's right, man.
My question is, why have you landed here on our planet?
I came to see David Ernest.
The asset preservationist?
Yeah, man. I wanted to see if he would take a look at my portfolio for me.
Well, before you make the trip over there, call him on his toll-free number, 833-596-7233.
And I understand those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
That is correct.
Funny thing happened the last time I came to Earth.
What was that?
I went to the Walmart, man.
Yes?
And I accidentally went in the back door.
How did that work out?
Well, they stopped me and very gently told me that I needed to go around front and come in.
And then what did you do?
I said, cool, man. Take me to your greeter.
You flew millions of miles just for that.
Hey, man, I don't ride them. I just read them.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Will today be the hottest day of the summer so far? We have a heat advisory in effect. Mostly sunny skies, high temperatures 98 to 100. With excessive dangerous heat indices near 110, low tonight in the very oppressive range in the upper 70s. Wednesday's high, we'll say mid to upper 90s, excessive heat indices again. And the rain chances today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, very small. If I had to put a number on it, I would say 20% or less each day. Late in the week, not quite as hot, but still 94 Thursday, 93 Friday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Sean Hannity now speaking at the Lindsey Graham funeral. And but let's bring it back locally here.
Okay.
There still is ongoing debate here in Montgomery and within the Montgomery City Council itself on whether to move forward with this plan to borrow $375 million for a downtown convention center expansion and other city projects. So they want to do the convention center.
Right.
Housing infrastructure improvements, which I'm not sure what that means exactly.
You and me both.
A new sports complex and amphitheater.
Kind of got a lot of that going on around us right now.
Yeah. City facility and service enhancements. Okay, I'm for that one. In the sense of if you mean like garbage trucks at
No,
work.
I want
and
specifics. I don't want.
Oh no, I agree with you there. But if that means like cruisers at work and trucks at work and services that are responsive to people, that we're fully staffed up in all these services.
Oh, yeah, that'd be an idea.
Yeah. And neighborhood improvement projects across Montgomery.
Again, I want to see specifics, man. I always hear about these great neighborhood projects, but I got to be very honest. I've never seen the true results of one.
According to the city's estimates, $200 million of the $375 million that debt would go towards expanding the convention center. So that's the lion's share of it.
Mm-hmm.
A vote on the proposal was expected at a meeting last week, but it was delayed another 2 weeks, likely because there currently aren't 5 members of the council willing to vote for the plan. Montgomery City Councilman Rondé Mitchell, who supports the proposal, told 1819 News recently he thinks the city council will eventually pass the bond measure, saying, quote, I think that we will be able to get the votes. You can do 2 things at once. I know a lot of people were saying public safety, but we are addressing public safety.
No, you're not.
We're doing commercials. We've done incentives. We've done pay raises. We're doing everything we possibly can to support the Montgomery Police Department. I don't think you're doing everything you possibly can. A lot of people want to say that if we pass this bond, we won't be able to hire 200 officers, but it has already been in the projected budget. We've already budgeted for 402 officers for this upcoming fiscal year. The bond issue has no bearing on hiring police officers, hiring in the fire department. He continued, I just feel that we can do multiple things.
No, you can't.
Pushing the city in the right direction. I hate that our young professionals are going to other places to find entertainment and spend their money after they get off. The city is comprised of a lot of young professional people in the city of Montgomery, and that's the first thing they ask after they graduate from college. Is this a place that I want to consider home? We are addressing the public safety issue. One homicide is one too many, Rondé Mitchell said. Montgomery City Councilman Glenn Pruitt, who opposes the bond issue, told 1819 News, my stance is that we've got other issues that we need to tackle. According to Pruitt, the city of Montgomery budgeted for 510 police officers and had 390 officers on staff in 2012. I remember that. He said those totals have dropped in 2025 and 2026 with the city budgeting for 400 police officers and having around 230 officers on staff. But how many of those 230 are actually out there on the streets? I suspect that number's under 200.
Well, again, when you compare the two agencies, you have the sheriff's department and you have the MPD.
Well, let's not do apples and oranges because some might argue that, working the county is a little different than working the city.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue that.
But look at, say, Birmingham. Did you see the story yesterday? We covered it, that Mayor Woodfin of Birmingham was awarded Crime Stopper of the Year because I believe they brought down crime by ridiculous numbers. They have a pretty fully staffed police force. It's like, but Montgomery can't pull it off.
Because we're not trying.
Well, maybe we should just make Woodfin mayor of both towns then.
It could be worse. I'm not kidding. But
no, I'm not saying I agree with everything Woodfin ever throws out there or says, but at least, like on these particular issues, you're seeing results.
how long have we been trying to hire officers? Or I'm sorry, how long have we been trying to say that we're hiring officers? Because we do hire 1, 2, 3 at a time. But the good ones get snatched up by the sheriff's department when they come out of the academy, and they don't have a problem going over there. Is it money? Can we not match them dollar for dollar? Is it lifestyle? What is it? To not compare the two is ridiculous.
Glenn Pruitt ain't done. The moral of the story is that we are in very good financial shape, but there's a reason for that. It's that we are understaffed in almost every department at the city of Montgomery, Glenn Pruitt stated. The moral of the story is that if we were staffed at full capacity on everything we were doing, got our trash trucks and we've got everything and we provide city services that we should be providing, we could not afford to pick up another $25 million in bond payment on top of what we are paying today. We could not, period. We are understaffed, and that's why we're in such a great financial shape. He continued, the mayor is being honest. We are in great financial shape. We do have money in reserve.
Mm-hmm.
We have about $62 million in reserve, but there is a reason for that. We didn't magically come up and find a way to give people great city services and put all this money in reserve. It's an employee shortage, bottom line, and we're not spending the money. If we're not spending the money in employee shortage, we're not giving the services that we need to give. And you see that all across the city, whether it be writing tickets, whether it be enforcing our traffic laws, whether it be picking up our garbage on a daily basis, picking up the curbside, whether it be answering the 911 calls or 311 calls. We are not providing those city services. And if you look at the fallout in the budget, there's a reason, because everyone is understaffed. Yeah.
Does not surprise me, bud.
Well, thank you for saying it, Glenn.
Yeah, I'm glad he did. Glad he said it out loud.
Because that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
What a mess. We should have Szymanski on tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to be asking about this. Because he voted for it initially to advance it. But I wonder if he's changed his mind.
Mm.
Because I think that point we just read from Councilor Pruitt is a pretty damn good point.
Yeah. Very valid point. But I'm sure there's a spin on the other side. Well, some of these positions are retired.
And I wish somebody on the council would take up what I say every day. The real problem is not necessarily like all your city plans and like all these practical issues. All these practical issues, like the understaffing, especially with police, and it all flows from, I think, a qualitative problem of leadership.
Yep.
Montgomery needs a new mayor. Carthage will be destroyed.
I wonder if we could get a float in the parade. That so Montgomery needs a new mayor float.
What parade?
Pick one. We got holidays coming up. You think Montgomery would let it in?
No, probably not.
Free speech.
What if we had little people?
Oh, you know I love me.
We're like singing a song about it.
You know I love me some little people.
I know you do.
Yeah, I do.
I think we're on to something.
I think we're on to something, everybody.
Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. And they're at Cole Plumbing. James and his team are ready to help you with any and all of your plumbing needs. Could be like you need a new water heater.
Could be.
Or maybe you want to do tankless.
I think that's a genius idea.
That's
Long-term
a really
savings,
good idea.
man.
Or it could be you got a drippy faucet.
Could have
You
a
just
dripping
can't fix
faucet, or you could have that spigot in the backyard that's always dripping.
Ooh.
You don't know how you shut it off. You got vice grips, you got everything on it, but you cannot get that thing to shut off because it needs to be replaced.
Maybe your toilet won't flush.
That ain't never good.
What if you got a clogged drain that you just can't get yourself, and you've already poured those terrible corrosive chemicals down there, and it didn't work?
Just not working.
Stop pouring.
Stop.
Don't pour the whole bottle down
Just
there.
stop.
You're gonna make a worse problem.
A lot
for yourself.
worse.
Instead, call up Cole Plumbing. And in fact, you should save their number in case
definitely.
stuff like we just described comes up, or a huge problem like a massive water leak inside or outside of your home comes up. Save their number at 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
Whether it's AC or heating or plumbing that you're needing, whatever you require, call Lou Choir.
With the seasons changing, your HVAC system is working overtime. Call Lou Choir today to schedule a tune-up with one of their expert technicians to keep your system running efficiently and reliably. Keep your home comfortable all season long. 24-hour emergency service available. License number 22154.
Call Lou Choir right now.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Sean Hannity continuing to speak and really talking about a lot of the Ukraine and support for Ukraine and support for Israel that Lindsey Graham constantly was champion of.
Different TVs have two very different things going on.
Yeah, on Fox Business, Charles Payne has a circus show
It
going
looks like
on.
a very circus show back there.
That woman
Jugglers
barely
and-
has clothes on.
Yes, she does.
That is
Hula
quite
girl
see-through.
and- Yeah. Remember
Anyway.
that Mr. Body guy that used to wear the bodysuit that had all the organs on him? That was your time frame, wasn't it?
No, I don't think so.
Really? It was
The
like
body
an APT.
guy?
Yeah, he wore a onesie, but it was all skin, and you could see all the different organs that were in his body. I thought that was y'all's thing. Oh, okay.
Freaking me out, Eddie Bader.
No, it was weird first time I saw it, but it become educational.
Yeah, you want to talk about things where you just go, huh?
I got a lot of those.
Well, this is from Craig Monger. You know that
Hey,
fella?
love my Craig.
Over at
What's up,
1819 News. The University of Alabama at Birmingham, otherwise known as UAB, continues to receive federal grant money to support its study on improving the vaginal health of so-called transgender men.
Yeah.
One $316,000 National Institutes of Health grant, which began in August 2024 and ends in July 2029, is going to Dr. Olivia von Gerwen, an assistant professor in the UAB Division of Infectious Diseases. According to the description, the grant will focus on the, quote, vaginal health of transgender men. TGM for short, transgender men, TGM. Despite their significance, vaginal symptoms and infections are poorly characterized in TGM. The description continues. This population is underserved and have limited engagement with sexual health services, largely due to discrimination from and mistrust of the medical establishment. Federal records state that UAB has already received over $230,000 of the grant's obligated funds. Another grant, which reached maturity in October 2024, doled out nearly $440,000 in health and human services funds to study the, quote, impact of testosterone use on the vaginal microbiota. Microbiota?
Yeah, you lost me.
In transgender men. $440,000 to study the testosterone effect of the vaginal microbiota.
What's the difference between that and just somebody saying, I'll give you $1 million to take something and let me watch and see what happens to you?
Unlike postmenopausal CGW, that's cisgender women, which, like, I always remember the Norm Macdonald podcast. Some guys like cis male. Norm's like, yeah, that's just a way to marginalize a normal person.
That's what I thought. Cis is normal.
Yeah. Unlike postmenopausal CGW, cisgender women, TGM, transgender men on testosterone also experience elevated testosterone levels. Really?
They're on testosterone.
The impact of low estrogen, high test on the vaginal microbiota of TGM is unknown and cannot be extrapolated from studies of CGW. Hormonal changes in conjunction with sexual behaviors due to increased sexual desire from use of testosterone could impact the vaginal microbiota of TGM, putting them at risk for bacterial vaginosis. Doesn't sound good, Eddie. Doesn't sound good at all. And ultimately, HIV and other STIs. Federal spending was a hot topic in the early months of Trump's presidency with the implementation of DOGE and shuttering of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. DOGE initially targeted HHS funding to quote-unquote woke initiatives, the term used for programs promoting DEI, health equity, so-called, and disparities research focused on racial, ethnic minorities, or LGBTQ plus people. However, the funding for many of these initiatives has continued.
Can't stop the money train, Joey.
And the headline is UAB receives $750,000 from feds to study vaginal health transgender men. Who would have thought there would be complications?
I don't even know what to say.
Well, you don't have to say anything because we got to hit a break.
Thank you. I could use a break.
This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And there at the Goodson Group, Bo and his team are ready to help you with buying or selling property here in the River Region real estate market. Now, it could be land, could be a house on land. And, of course, there at the Goodson Group, not only can they help you with buying and selling your property, but they can also manage that property for you should you want to rent out your home. Great idea in this market. So check them out today. You can always learn more at thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. It's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump is paying tribute today at the funeral for Senator Lindsey Graham at the National Cathedral, recalling his decades of public service and many other qualities. Graham, the son of pool hall owners when he was a child, rose to become one of his generation's more influential U.S. politicians at home and abroad, being eulogized today and even called a swashbuckling public servant by Vice President J.D. Vance. Perhaps nowhere was Graham's political dexterity on display more than when he navigated his on-again, off-again relationship with President Trump. Once political opponents, then Graham became one of the president's most staunch supporters. Johnson & Johnson has agreed to pay $5.5 billion to tie up remaining lawsuits that claim its talc products caused ovarian cancer. On Wall Street, it's been a mixed bag with the Dow up close to 600 points right now, the NASDAQ down about 250. This is SRN News.
Hi, I'm Kirk Cameron. Christian Healthcare Ministries is not another health insurance policy. If you're tired of year-long contracts and pointless restrictions, CHM offers anytime enrollment on your schedule and at your convenience. With CHM, you're paying half the cost of a traditional health insurance plan. So that puts more money back into your budget for everyday needs. Plus, you'll have access to CHM's care solutions for virtual appointments, prescription savings, surgery support, and more. My family and I joined in 2018, and it's changed our lives for the better. We love paying way less while helping other believers afford their medical bills. Take the leap of faith and see why Christians across the nation are better with CHM.
Get started by calling 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS for a 50% credit towards your first month. That's 1-833-JOIN-CHM and use promo code WELLNESS.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Victoryland.
Win a BMW X7 or your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's BMW and $25,000 free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. This week's heat has probably peaked. I mean, we'll moderate a little bit. Tonight, most towns stay dry. Overnight low temperature down to about 78. Wednesday's high temperature in the mid to upper 90s with excessive heat indices again, like maybe 105 to 110. And the rain chances tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, very small, generally 20% or less. Not quite as hot late week, but still 94 on Thursday, 93 on Friday, low 90s on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
1819 News.
The University of Alabama at Birmingham has been named for a $300,000 grant in taxpayer money for a study that continues to explore the transgender lifestyle. The grant money is coming from the National Institute of Health and started back in 2024, ending in 2029. The study is regarding vaginal health of those who identify as a transgender man, which is to mean a biological woman who has gone through hormone therapy or surgery to appear as a man. The study is tasked with looking at the effects of the drug testosterone on the vaginal microbiota of these transgender men. The Department of Government Efficiency was tasked by President Trump at the start of his term to go after government spending on woke initiatives such as this. However, that funding is still clearly moving forward. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness License Plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
The city of Hanceville is continuing forward in the rebuilding of its police department. The agency was dissolved by the city council earlier this year due to corruption that was found among the leadership and officers that led to multiple indictments. The Coleman County Sheriff's Office has been providing law enforcement services since that time for the Hanceville residents. Now, the Hanceville Mayor Nolan Bradford told WAFF News that the city is just a few steps away from beginning the process of hiring a new police chief as well as rebranding that entire department. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil, one simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to metamucil.com for more details.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back. Now, sticking to some local stuff.
Yeah.
The Senate Minority Leader, his name is Bobby Singleton.
Yes.
You know Bobby.
Yep. No, he is. Yep.
He's from Greensboro, Alabama. He announced on Tuesday, today, that he's running to be the next chairman of the Alabama Democrat Party.
Oh, okay.
The state Democrat Executive Committee will meet on August 8th in Montgomery to elect a new chair. Party chair Randy Kelly is running for re-election, of course.
Okay.
Singleton has been able to block or water down some of the Republican supermajority bills in the past legislative sessions for the use of sometimes lengthy filibusters.
I was gonna say the talking.
He called President Trump King Dictator ahead of his visit in the University of Alabama in 2025.
Okay.
King Dictator.
All right.
I mean the same thing.
Yeah, free speech.
Singleton also compared bills changing the oversight and governance of local libraries and the Alabama Department of Archives and History to Nazi Germany.
Nazi Germany, huh?
Compare bills changing the oversight and governance of local libraries in the Department of Archives and History to Nazi Germany in February 2024. Okay. He also speculated that Trump ally and donor Elon Musk would, quote unquote, maybe bring, quote, apartheid to America, end quote, during a filibuster early on in Trump's second term when Musk Doge was cutting federal spending in Alabama and nationwide.
When they're doing filibuster, is there rules of what they can read, or can they literally pick up any BS and just start talking about it? It didn't have to be a...
Yeah, there's no
wow.
rules.
Okay.
Free speech, baby. Especially on the floor of a legislative
I
body.
It had something to do with the subject matter you're already discussing, but okay.
Singleton told 1819 News on Tuesday, I believe in the power of the Democratic Party to unify our communities. I want to offer myself to be that new voice for the Democratic Party. We have a great slate of candidates that are out there running from top to bottom. This is a great opportunity for us to be successful in November. I feel really good about it. I just want to offer myself and my talents to be able to come to the party that I love so much and try to build some consensus so that we can win in November. I feel real good about it. And I believe that I could come in and be a breath of fresh air for this party to lead us into a November win.
Okay.
Singleton was dismissive of a plan to have Democrats vote in Republican primaries in the special congressional primary on August 11th. Alabama Democratic Party Vice Chair Tabitha Eisner recently urged Democrats to vote, voters to head to the polls for the August 11th Republican special primary to try to block former U.S. Rep. Jerry Carl, State Representative Rick Marcus, and Amy Aiken from winning their primary races. Eisner called for Democrats to pick a Republican ballot in the upcoming special primary. Alabama has an extra primary in 2026 in some congressional districts due to Alabama recently reverting back to a likely 6-1 Republican map instead of that 5-2 map that was used in the 2024 cycle. I just believe that we should respect party rules and stay where we are. Democrats are Democrats, and I don't necessarily believe in just jumping into party politics just to try to get a weak candidate, Singleton said. I think that we all have strong candidates that will stand up against whatever candidate that they have. I'm not looking for somebody weak to beat. I want to beat your best, so bring it on. That's where I am. Cool. I mean, it would be a change, I guess. Like Elon Musk and apartheid, and man, you're trying to tell me that kids can't have like books in the library to teach them how to touch themselves in certain ways, and if you try to take those inappropriate books away, like you're a Nazi?
I wouldn't consider you a Nazi. I'd almost consider you probably a normal person, to be quite honest. You know?
Yeah, like, why don't you just do how we did back in the day where kids learned to touch themselves?
Figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm just not, I don't know. And I know what they do. They use libraries and things like that. It's kind of a soft target, to say the least. And you can slip those things in there. And then before long, we had that situation we had, like in Prattville.
And speaking of that special election that's coming up.
Yeah.
On Monday, the Houston County Republicans hosted the candidates vying for the Republican nomination for Congressional District 2.
How many was there then? Wasn't there a bunch?
I think there's six.
6 or
yeah,
7.
something
Okay.
like that.
Yeah.
Of course, this is on August the 11th, is Election Day for the special election. The field of candidates that qualify for the special election in Congressional District 2 was in attendance at the forum, featuring remarks from Hampton Harris, Christian Horn, State Rep. Rhett Marquez, David Matthews, Joshua McKee, and James Richardson. Earlier this month, the race struck a new tone during a forum held in nearby Enterprise, but the Monday event remained cordial as the candidates answered questions ranging from Iran to data centers, which have become the subject of debate across the country. At the conclusion of the forum, each candidate vowed to rally behind the eventual Republican nominee to defeat U.S. Rep. Shamari Figures. The election was set, of course, by Governor Ivey after the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling in Louisiana v. Calais in April. So during opening remarks, Houston County Republican Chairwoman Karen Sanders urged attendees to remind their families, friends, and neighbors to participate in the special election, saying, "We want Republicans electing our Republican candidates." The threat of potential Democratic interference takes on a greater dimension as turnout trends from non-general elections have become a focus of concern for leaders in Alabama. Of course, this is the whole Tabitha Eisner thing again.
Yep.
The candidates were asked if they would support whoever won the Republican nomination in the general election versus Shamari Figures against the congressman, and all candidates responded yes. However, Horn added, quote, "I will support the candidate who is certified as the nominee on August 26th. The special election for Congressional District 2 will be held on Tuesday, August 11th, and a winner-takes-all contest, no runoff, will be held."
I like the winner take all.
Yeah? You get tired of these runoffs?
Yeah, just money. Waste. Not enough people vote to keep, spending all that money like that. I'm sorry, but it's true.
Now, we covered this yesterday, but I want to bring it up to you. Did you see that Tuskegee University has a new policy? The new rule at Tuskegee University bans bonnets, do-rags, and slippers or bedroom shoes in the classroom, dining halls, and at official university events.
I'm sorry, but I'm with that 1,000%. And it's not just Tuskegee. I wish all of them did that.
Yeah.
And I'm not the sharpiest dresser, but come on, guys.
No, you ain't. But come on, guys.
I've seen at a real estate meeting one time, I saw a younger realtor show up literally in her pajamas. And I was like, holy crap. And then I just see that kind of thing more and more airports, which I believe in dressing comfortably.
Oh, but yeah, it's gone too far.
It's gone too far.
Like, stop with the pajama pants.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's a guy named Taylor, Tayler,
okay,
Adigun.
Okay.
Adigun. Taylor Adigun is a columnist for Ebony Magazine.
Okay.
And he caught one of this policy change there at Tuskegee. And he says, Tuskegee University's new dress code isn't about bonnets and do-rags. It's the latest chapter in a decades-long conversation about respectability, politics, black identity, and the expectations placed on HBCU students before they even enter the workforce. From not sagging our pants to opting for straightened or otherwise manipulated hairstyles, black people, capitalized of course, have been categorically conditioned to alter our behavior based on what is deemed acceptable by white culture, even if that culture doesn't abide by those same principles itself.
I thought white people had no culture.
Yeah. Conditioned. It's almost like Taylor Adigun is doing the conditioning.
What is wrong with saying, hey, we are educating you to go out and make better things? The first thing we're going to educate you on, just like in military, is how to dress, how to look professional. What the hell is wrong with that?
Yeah, but professional for who are you trying to look professional?
For the person that you're either getting a job for or doing a job for. And at the end of the day, especially if they're going to be a graduate, they're representing that school. I don't see the pushback. Maybe I'm just the old man telling you to get off my lawn again, but I don't see the pushback in that.
Oh, that's just your honky thinking.
No, you pick a university. Even at Auburn, like I said before, it's a real estate meeting. This chick showed up in her pajamas.
Yeah.
Have some decorum.
Why, did you secretly like it?
No, because it wasn't the nice kind of pajamas. They were all baggy and stuff, What, like it was a robe?
Like the pajamas were baggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The
pajamas were baggy. Okay.
Didn't do her any flattery whatsoever. But I just don't. And again, I don't dress. You know me. I dress probably better than I used to. But
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with being comfortable. But it's also show enough respect that you respect where you're at and the people around you to somewhat be professional.
Yeah, I think I used to walk around Auburn in a sports jacket, and when it was cold, a scarf.
You know, that's good, Joey. I'm sure that was a very fashionable thing to do then.
Mm-hmm.
I used to wear shorts and socks with no shoes in the snow because I thought that was fashionable.
Yeah.
Turns out it was fashionable, but also dumb.
Yeah, that's why your feet are so weird.
And they smell.
Yeah.
Those shoes, yeah. Oof, God.
Oh yeah, man. Wait,
Leather-
wait. Now you wear shoes? Crocs count as shoes?
Well, these are better because the other one were those leather
Yeah,
topsiders we used to wear.
It's like there's a different type of funk
Ooh.
when it comes to the leather.
Yeah. My buddy Roman's mom used to meet him at the door with a bucket and water and wash his feet before he could come in the house. So they stank.
272-9228. And of course, as the Franklin Graham, Reverend Franklin Graham is read scripture at the Lindsey Graham funeral.
He's another person I would love to be stuck on an 8-hour flight with and just pick his brain.
Oh, absolutely. And Senator Katie Britt put out this today, saying, "Today we begin to lay to rest my dear friend and one of America's very best. Grateful for his sacrifice and years of service. We are all better for having known Lindsey, and we miss him immensely already." And there was Fox News got a video of her laying her hand on the flag draped casket, and you could tell she was quite broken up over it. It's no surprise, and like I don't know any inside information. I shouldn't, and I don't. But just it's obvious they were close friends.
There, yeah.
Obvious they were very close friends. Anyway, this part of the program, brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. You know something about Alabama Home Mortgage?
I do know something about Alabama Home Mortgage. In fact, they'll be getting a call from one of our clients today, brand new, first-time home buyers, recently married. They have come into the state. I think one came from Wyoming. The young lady was from California. They're moving to Alabama because he's taking a job here, which is great. Never bought a house before. They saw it was on the market for rent, and they called me and said, "Hey, not to be funny, but can we pretty much buy a house and pay the same amount of payment as for rent, but actually be our house?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, right now, a lot of times rent is more expensive than your payment. So they did a little more research. They called me back up and said, "Okay, we're officially ready to get started." I gave them Madeline's number. I'm expecting a call back from them any minute now.
I love it.
Yep.
And that number is 567-4223.
That's the one I gave them.
And when you call up 567-4223, they can, help you with that sort of situation, or maybe you're looking to refinance.
Maybe you are.
Or it could be you're a veteran. You want to take advantage of the VA mortgage program.
Best thing in town.
They can help you across the board. And it's not like when you call 567-4223 that you like have to next week pull the trigger on like buying a huge house. No, it's more like starting the conversation, getting in the right position.
Going.
Essentially informing yourself on what's the next move.
Yep.
So again, that's Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. Do you know that fertility rates are crashing amongst Democrats?
I don't want to be ugly.
I'm looking at this story here from America's big cities are rapidly losing kids. The number of children is falling across the U.S., but the decline is especially pronounced in big metros, which is they're mostly blue Democrat places.
I just
With the nation's fertility rate at record lows, the number of children under 18 is falling across the U.S. The decline is especially pronounced in big cities, according to a Wall Street Journal analysis. The number of children under 18 living in big U.S. cities is down 6% in the past decade, compared with a 1% decline nationwide. The drop is especially stark among families with little kids. The number of children under age 5 in big cities fell 15%, compared with a drop of 7% nationwide. Even cities that are gaining population are losing children. You know,
Florida, man.
I wrote a thing today that probably it wasn't popular because nobody wants to be remind. Maybe we don't actually live out our beliefs.
Okay.
That's not exactly gonna be a popular thing. But I see this. I'm like, whatever happened to be fruitful, multiply? And, you know, I got to look in the mirror there. So I ain't getting any younger, and I haven't produced any children. But there does seem like without picking on anybody in particular, like the culture is going in the wrong direction in so many ways.
It's odd because, again, my youth was teen pregnancy and things like that were going on, which granted, I'm glad we got kind of a little bit of a curb on that. But just also, I have a hard time imagining what's everybody doing.
Right.
I mean, what else are you doing? You're not trying to be ugly or anything. Just, what are you doing?
Guess we're going on trips and stuff. We're watching the latest shows.
But then I see that, and I want to believe that.
And kids are a big responsibility and burden.
Huge responsibility.
And what are you telling me that responsibility and like a big burden
are a bit of a buzzkill?
But then the thinking doesn't continue to, like, perhaps a responsibility and a big burden might be the most meaningful thing you ever do in your life?
You don't think about that, Joey, until you hit older, buddy. That's a big thing, man. I wish I'd had, now that I'm at the age I am, I wish I had 30 kids.
I guess you can always get a dog or a cat. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this? Hello? Anybody there? Anybody at all? No.
I'm going with no.
Line 1. Hi. Who's this?
It's TS.
I thought it was
TS.
UTS. How are you doing?
I'm percolating.
Percolating.
Nice.
What you percolating on?
See? Life.
Mm-hmm.
House sitting a cat in a swimming pool. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Does the cat swim?
No, we're not. Chuck can't go outside. If Chuck gets out, I'm dead meat.
Yeah. One of them.
Chuck.
You got one
the
rule.
cat's name is Chuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, and my brother's name is Chuck, and it's like, oh, Lord.
Well,
Okay.
Charles, if you're a good boy, I'll give you some catnip.
Oh, Charles is a trip. I want to thank you, Joey and Eddie, for playing the major highlights of the Lindsey Graham deal today.
Mm-hmm.
That was good because the only way I would have gotten to listen to it.
You and me both.
And then, okay, way back when I taught elementary school at a out of the city limits school in Prattville,
Mm-hmm.
my principal got tired of boys not wearing belts. And bless his heart, he stood his ground, and we had a box of 500 belts. So he just let all the parents know, all these boys, no matter what grade, they need to have a belt on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It didn't matter what color you were or anything else, you had to have a belt on. And you talk about some redneck mamas raising holy hell with that man. But I was so proud of him because he stood his ground, and all the boys learned that you dress, you tuck your shirt in, and you wear a belt. And for the whole time he was there, after during that time, all those boys had on pants, shirt tail tucked in, and even though their parents were blowing smoke out their ears, those boys looked good.
Right. I just don't see the problem with that.
And it went all the way up to 6th grade. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But the pajama thing and the hair bonnets and stuff, that ain't right.
Well,
don't drop your kids off in pajamas.
But some days, I mean, with my hair now, I kind of wish I had a bonnet. I could throw it up
I
there.
can get you a bonnet.
No, don't you dare wear a bonnet.
Those boys look good.
No, people think you're shoplifting if you wear a bonnet, Joey.
No, they ask me what that is. I'll tell them soul.
Soul, baby.
All right. I love you guys.
Love
Bye.
you too, TS.
See you, TS.
Yeah.
That was my favorite line of the day. Your always makes me laugh, but her line there of those boys look good. It tickled me a little
What's
bit.
wrong with that, though?
Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I'm getting older. I didn't think uniforms. I thought uniforms were dumb during school. Now, as an older person, yeah, I think you got to.
Yeah, Catholic, we had uniforms, and I initially rebelled, but then it makes a lot of sense.
But that's okay though, because you're gonna rebel against something small.
No,
like
I
a
still
uniform.
I don't tuck my shirt in.
Neither do I.
Yeah. We're past that.
Yeah, I'm way past that. Although there's times when I do, and I look in the mirror and go, "This don't look right now."
Right, yeah, or it doesn't feel right.
Right,
You know, what is
exactly.
this? Why am I showing my crotch off?
Exactly.
Right.
But I still don't see a problem with that. Just like we played football, and I think junior high and high school. Fridays before a game, you had to wear a jacket and a tie. Soccer was the same way. You had to wear a jacket and a tie. And at first, I thought it was the dumbest thing ever. But you know what? I learned how to tie a tie.
Now, I did start to like the uniforms that on game days at Catholic and high school, on football game days, we were required as a team to wear ties.
Yes.
Like,
I thought that was a good look. I always
and
thought
it's
it
a
was
very
good look.
preppy, like it's gold and blue because it was like the lines look like you're literally on varsity. Like, yeah, you have some pride in yourself.
That's my thought. You're teaching pride, I think, and not I don't think in a wrong way. You're being taught to be proud of.
And
your
you and
look.
I are on the same page of this. Having to wear a suit every day.
Man.
Now, there's some folks pull it off and it's
yeah.
their uniform, but a suit every day.
When I worked at a record store, music store years ago, I had to wear a tie every day. And, it was trendy, but at the same time, we're like, dude, we work in music.
Right.
Why are we having to wear this tie every day? If I had the choice of clothes to wear, they probably would have wanted me to wear the tie because I would have worn just cut off jeans and t-shirt. Dude, I'm in music, man.
I'm in music, man. I can wear what I want, man.
Right.
272-9228. But everything, any sort of standards in any sort of direction, it's just going to be a problem.
Yeah, but I think again, I'm getting older, but I think it's important to reinforce that every so often. I just, and especially with kids, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Oh no, you're going to make me look good, respectable? How dare you?
How dare you? See, and what happens though when you don't enforce standards is sometimes that's how you get ants.
Yes.
And this is a fascinating piece from Axios.
Okay.
Republicans didn't decide to become President Trump's party. They surrendered to him one stage at a time over a decade in plain sight. Would you agree with that statement?
1,000%.
Democrats swear that socialism's growing grip on their party is different and can be contained. The early signals suggest otherwise. Now, party transformations follow a predictable 6-stage evolution: recoil, squint, rationalize, submit, amplify, and purge. Each stage has language you can hear long before you see it in the votes. Republicans just finished the full cycle. Democrats might be starting it. So let's look at how the language shifts stage by stage for signs whether recent socialist wins are an anomaly or the start of something bigger, broader. Stage 1, recoil. Denounce by name. Lindsey Graham called Trump a kook who was unfit for office. Ted Cruz called him a pathological liar.
Yep.
And I believe Trump said in response, well, he gave out Lindsey Graham's number and as he just said at Graham's funeral, and gave it out again at the funeral. It was actually a great speech by Trump.
That was a good one.
He really can still be himself even at such a solemn occasion as a funeral. But after Cruz called him a pathological liar in 2016, what did Trump do? Ted Cruz, he lies, he holds the Bible high, and he lies. That was 2016. Both later defended him against the exact words they coined.
Yes.
Yeah. Stage 2, squint. Support without looking. I haven't seen the tweet. Became the go-to response of House and Senate Republicans in Trump's first term when they were asked about the latest storm. Fat little rocket man will never have a nuclear weapon. He talks about his button, but I have a button too, and mine actually is bigger, and it works.
It works, baby.
Senator, what do you think of that tweet? I didn't see the tweet. But some did the binary dodge. The other side is worse. Stage 3, rationalization. This is the yes, but stage. I don't love the style, but the judges, the tax cuts, the border, he's a fighter. This is where accommodation becomes the norm and the need to win Trump's style or tactics. Stage 4, submit. Dissent becomes career-ending. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy said on the floor that Trump bears responsibility for January 6th. 2 weeks later, McCarthy flew to Mar-a-Lago to make peace. In less than 3 years, he'd been ousted as speaker. Silence becomes life and death survival. Stage 5, amplify. Fully adopt the vocabulary, the style, the maximal claims. Try to out-Trump Trump. After privately calling Trump America's Hitler in 2016, J.D. Vance is now vice president and routinely seeks to show his Trumpiness. That's almost every Republican now.
Thank you.
In stage 6, purge. Actively work to oust anyone who disagrees. You either fully accept and amplify or you get exiled.
Mm-hmm.
Senator Jeff Flake, Senator Bob Corker, Representative Liz Cheney, gone. This year alone, Senator Bill Cassidy was beaten in a Trump-backed primary. Senator Tom Tillis chose retirement over humiliation. And Senator John Cornyn drew a primary challenger and lost to him after voting with Trump 99% of the time. So with socialism, the Democratic base moved first, as the base always does. Gallup found last year that Democrats viewed socialism more positively than capitalism by 24 points. The widest gap on record, and sharpest among younger voters. All 3 candidates, New York Mayor Zoran Mondami won their June 23rd House primaries, defeating 2 incumbents. Brad Lander over Representative Dan Goldman, Claire Valdez over Brooklyn's borough president, and Daria-Liza Avila Chevalier.
I thought you spoke Latin.
That ain't Latin. Spanish is much tougher.
I see.
The Congressional Hispanic Caucus chair, backed by House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, lost to Daria-Liza. So just sit with that for a second. Jeffries endorsed incumbent lost to a Democratic Socialist. Yeah. That's stage 4 machinery switching on, with the primary electorate punishing the establishment side of the fight. And it's not just New York. In Colorado, 29-year-old Democratic Socialist Melet Quiros.
Melet?
M-E-L-A-T. Melet?
Malay.
I don't think it's Malay. Toppled 15-term Representative Diane DeGette, who leans progressive. 15-term.
Jeez.
Now listen to the language. It's not socialism, it's affordability. Is the left's, it's not the tweets, it's the judges. Bill Daley, former Commerce Secretary and White House Chief of Staff, told us Democrats can't rationalize a candidate saying, "Oh, I didn't mean it when I said I agreed with a crazy idea a while ago." Instead, Daley said they need to aggressively denounce out of mainstream ideas and plans and go after actual socialists by shoving that platform up their noses. I suspect he wanted to say something else.
I think you're right, Joey.
In an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal warning Dems of the Tea Party trap that befell the GOP, Daley wrote, Democrats are fooling themselves as they think a similar hijacking can't happen to their party.
It has.
It's almost like I've been warning and wondering about this for a while. Socialism is widely seen by most elected Democrats as political poison. So this moment could prove fleeting. Now, there's no socialist enforcer yet. The far left doesn't have like a Fox News, like a one-stop shop hub.
No, but they were top key on canceling folk for a while.
Mm-hmm. Transmission is slower, and socialists need to get a clear general election hurdles in order to really. But just watch the language. Do swing district Democrats start using Democratic Socialists without flinching or keep laundering it as affordability?
Mm-hmm.
How long do Jeffries and Chuck Schumer stall on Mondami wing nominees this fall? Jeffries' slow walk on Mondami himself last year was textbook squint. Does a Democrat lose a primary specifically for attacking the socialist wing, like Liz Cheney lost because of her attacks on Trump that stage 4 gateway? Do 2028 hopefuls adopt the rent freezes in public groceries they mocked in 2019? And do moderate Democrats retire rather than adapt? It's going to be fascinating to watch.
I think many of them are going to retire.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to have the fight that they can believe in them. You know, they'll still want to be a party. They'll still want to be a leadership position in that party, but they know that party's not their party anymore. Now, I was lost that with the Republican Party for a while. Just didn't feel like I fit in with the Republican Party. I had the mindset.
Days I still don't feel like it.
Well, I had the mindset, but there's people I meet, and I'm like, "What? You're a Republican, but you don't have the mindset. You have the voting record, but you're not really a true Republican."
I don't know. We'll see. I told you as I began this day, I'm having a good day. Really great morning. Good breakfast. Good time at church. As I started looking at the news today, I really was like, oh, are we going to do this again?
Yeah.
Like the ball just keeps on bouncing, you know? Especially this upcoming fight after Trump is leaving.
It's also one of those crazy.
It's exhausting to just even think about. And I just sighed and I'm like, that just ain't where my heart is right now.
Well, it's like a crazy ball. I mean, I don't know if you ever used to play those crazy balls. They were so wound, so tight. You never knew they were going, but you knew they were going sky high.
No, I don't think we used crazy ball, but I was in the era where the footballs that we used, the Nerf footballs, were like different varieties of Nerf footballs. Like I remember for some reason.
You losers couldn't catch a regular football. Nerds had to put wings and stuff on it. Now they got them light up at night.
We're small children.
Adapt.
Do you not remember the spike ball?
Yeah, I do. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, and you just jumped on me, you nerd. Spike ball was awesome, especially when you're, a little kid. You're like 9 or 10, and you could freaking spiral that thing.
Or get in practice, and you could be able to do the same thing, just a little more practice and discipline.
With a huge football, like an NFL football.
You get a smaller one.
Oh, with a smaller one.
Yeah, small ball.
Yeah, I had one of those too.
Yeah, they always hurt your hands worse than the.
Ow! He throws too hard.
Jam your fingers, kind of thing. Yeah.
And that brings up another memory of we had a coach, Coach Wright, who was for a year wide receiver coach for the RC football team at Catholic. And we figured out Coach Wright couldn't throw but 30 yards. So when we're doing, and at that point, I mostly just played corner, but I'd still work out with the wide receivers during offense time. And everybody figured out there's no reason for me to run like a hard fly route 50 yards down the field because he can't throw it that far
anyway. Yeah.
And so he figured out that we'd figured it out. And so I remember, I go do the fly route expecting a 30-yard pass, and I see this man, probably in his 50s, chasing me with the ball. Run, Joey, run!
You need a hands-on coach like that once in a while, Joey.
I love that guy. I hope he's doing all right. If anybody out there listening knows Ed Wright. It was a lot of fun as a coach. But, no, it's just stuff like that.
Well, that's the kind of coaches I hated admitting it, but that's the kind of coach I had to have growing up. If you weren't my dad, then
yeah, I just will always have burned in my brain that guy chasing me, yelling at me.
Run!
Run! Get a stronger arm. Get somebody who can throw it here. Because our other coach, JR, would, he could bomb it. He played, different professional leagues. So, he could throw a true tight spiral 60 yards down the field, something like that. And it's like, woo.
We had a baseball coach like that I think he used to pitch maybe in minor league and something happened. So it was always known as he was a pitcher, he's a pitcher. Well, we knew he was good for about 12, 16 pitches. After that, his arm was shot.
Just exhausted, yeah.
So, I'll take batting practice from you all day long because I know in about 5 minutes I'm going to be whooping it.
Well, we got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters. And this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800 lenders who don't even know your name, much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script, and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of health care you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients. From making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly, to getting to know you and your family's needs, and following up on any questions you may have, Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury, and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 special. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. This week's heat has probably peaked. We'll moderate a little bit. Tonight, most towns stay dry. Overnight low temperature down to about 78. Wednesday's high temperature in the mid to upper 90s with excessive heat indices again, like maybe 105 to 110. And the rain chances tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, very small, generally 20% or less. Not quite as hot late week, but still 94 on Thursday, 93 on Friday, low 90s on Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
When the heat hits to the river region, don't wait. If your AC quits, Hands Heating and Air offers same-day service, or your diagnostic charge is free with their Comfort a Day or You Don't Pay guarantee, plus 24/7 service with no overtime charges.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Where do you get all these 70s sitcom songs? I swear these are just 70s sitcoms I think I've watched. Like this one, I think it's called Family.
No, because I think about like us, like sitting here talking like this, and people can't hear us. It's just the video of.
I mean, it just it plays very well. Very well.
Welcome back, folks. I also enjoy juxtapositions that make no damn sense.
Yes.
Like playing music like that, but then here's Donald Trump talking about going off script clearly.
Oh, yeah.
This is Donald Trump yesterday because we're like, what, 98 days away from the midterm, something like that?
August 11th, we got an election coming up. Don't forget, Joey.
Yeah, a special election here. But the big midterm date, we're less than 100 days away. And so Trump, here, let's see if I can do this correctly. Let's keep this going, but turn it down a little bit, Nikki. Okay, there we go. And let's add Trump to the stream. All right, here we go.
Thinking about it. This is maybe going to make news because I've never said it. I'm just thinking about it now. When they take something over, it's always dirty. The sidewalks are dirty. The people are, I hate to say this, not clean, okay? The curbs are loaded with you know what? The smell is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it happening to cities. Blue cities are all blue. They're all blue. We don't have problems with the Republican-run cities, I mean, for the most part. But they're dirty. I said to somebody about a certain city, I don't want to say the name of it, but it's run by the radical left. I said, how is it doing? Because I love it. And they said, it's filthy dirty. It's so dirty, they've never seen it like that. It's so filthy dirty. And I just thought of it. Nobody ever says that. You know, I'm sort of a clean freak. I like clean. Do you ever see Washington, D.C.? Do you see what happened? Washington, D.C., it was filthy.
Anyway.
Graffiti all over the place. We fixed up 72 monuments and fountains. And
I mean, he's right, though. Why is it like putting up with the dirtiness?
That I don't understand either, especially in a place like D.C., where, I mean, whether I like it or not, it is our nation's capital. It is a representation of what we want everyone to think the United States is, so why wouldn't it be clean? And especially, I grew up around military bases a lot, and there's just order. You know, there's just order.
Yeah. Have respect for your space.
Yeah.
Now, of course, I picked the quietest clip to try to do that with the music. That's unfortunate. Let's see how loud this clip is here, right?
The people you mentioned.
Okay, yeah, that one's a pretty good level. So let's bring this back a little bit.
The names you mentioned, AOC, Bernie, the Squad, Omar, these are people who even 10 or 15 years ago would have been relegated to the outer extreme fringes of the Democrat Party. They're now the center of the party. They're the heart of the party. They're the soul of the party. So the Democrats have become a party of freaks, weirdos, losers, and crazies. But you can't laugh it off because it's deadly serious. When you give these people power, everything you know and love in this world falls apart. You have chaos, corruption, decay, violence, poverty. The people you...
He ain't kidding about that chaos.
Nah, he ain't kidding at all. So, you ever been to buy Dylan Rings?
Yes, I've been there a couple times.
Yeah?
One of my favorite places to go.
Did you
They got a
get
cool
some
guy in there.
charm bracelets?
I do. In fact,
Yeah.
I'll be taking. I get it on the camera. Yeah. I'll be taking a friend of mine back by there. We're going to get them done again.
Okay.
So if you see me with multiple, don't.
I'm not going to give you a hard
Okay,
time.
don't.
No,
This is your bracelet, buddy. This is you and me right here. Always you.
Yeah,
and me. Okay,
mine's in my nightstand.
Anyway,
I still know where it is.
You're doing better than most people I've given jewelry to.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I mean, I haven't. It's not like I gave you a rosary bracelet.
No.
I might though. You never know.
Never know. That's true.
You never know. But if you like want some proper jewelry, like
I want some bling and jewelry.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I want. I always dream because when I got married, I didn't have any money. I think I
Right.
literally got her a bubblegum ring. I would love to be able to take a lady that means the world to me into a place like that and say, Josh, this is the lady I'm going to spend the rest of my life with.
Right.
Please, let's the three of us come up with something together that shows her how much she means to me. Just be a daily reminder. She could look down and see how much she means to me.
What's your budget?
Well, that's the good thing about Josh, Joey.
He can work with you.
That's right.
So 20,000.
Well, I think there is a formula. Isn't there a formula? It's 3 months salary or something that for. Well, I'm unemployed right now, Joey. So back to the bubblegum machine.
No, but you've got a great idea there where you want to do something truly special, truly unique to commemorate something like a marriage, an engagement in a marriage. Yeah, do that.
I think so. And I love the idea of asking someone to marry you.
Mm-hmm.
But how many guys, and I'm one of them, but how many of us really pick out the ring that the woman would really like to pick out on her own? So if we went with her, then we're doing it together.
And of course, not only can they do the custom design stuff,
yeah,
or the fun starter jewelry like you're talking about, but they also can do spa treatment. So it's jewelry you've owned for a while, but it kind of looks like you wear it all the time. It looks several years old.
Got that gold starting to tarnish.
Well, they can make it shine and shimmer like it's brand new again, or they can do repair work. Maybe something just broke, or maybe something's loose.
Loose, yeah. A ruby or a diamond might have fell out.
You don't want that.
Nope.
They can do it all, and they can do battery replacements on watches and stuff.
Thank God somebody still does that.
So check them out today. That's Dylan Rings we've been talking about. 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of the good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
You're listening to Joey Clark. Joey Clark. And his old pal, Mr. Bader. It's Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles with Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm tired. Been to Memphis and back.
Already, man. That's crazy.
I'm feeling tired, too, today. I think it's not just the travel. I think it's like the changes in the season.
Oh, okay.
I think it's because I rolled out of bed at 4 o'clock and drove to Memphis.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Ray.
Oh, you sure it doesn't have to do with the moon and the stars? And
well, no, I was up at 4. I get it, but I went right back to bed. I just peed and went right back to bed.
Yeah, I woke
Ray
up
went
at
to bed
4:53.
Yeah, I woke up at, you know how it is. If you have to be somewhere the next day, you don't really sleep good.
It's on your mind.
I looked at my phone at 2:30, looked at my phone at 3:30. I laid there till 4. I said, forget it. Let's go. Roll out of bed and hit the ground running. But I didn't get a ticket, so that's good. That was
that's
good
a
day.
plus.
Memphis back and never got a ticket, and the traffic going through Birmingham was a breeze at that time.
Oh, nice.
So it wasn't that bad.
Nice.
But at the end of the day, the whole moral of the story is if the job needs to get done and we got to get up and go to Memphis and back, we're going to do that.
Yep.
To get the job done. So if y'all need any kind of flooring work from ceramic tile, carpet, wood, laminate, vinyl plank, whatever it may be, call us at 285-8117 and give us a shot, and we'll be glad to come out and give you that free measurement.
Again, that's 285-8117. They really will go the extra mile, folks, and get the job done right. And when you call 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles on the radio.
Hey, y'all have a great afternoon.
You too, Ray. See you, brother. Get some sleep tonight.
So we learned anything today?
Once again, tomorrow's going to be great with Fauci under fire.
Yeah, definitely.
I got a feeling that we're all going to be a little disappointed. I think we're going to hear a lot of that plead the fifth and yada, yada, yada.
Well, Senator Paul, I apologize.
Right. That's what I'm waiting to hear, which I don't think we're going to.
Senator Paul, if it will assuage you, I will cut off this finger right now on national TV. Would you like me to cut off my finger, Senator Paul?
No.
No. What?
No.
What's the, I can't remember the name, the Japanese, like. Like just.
Yeah,
stab yourself.
Not
fall, Senator Paul, if you want me to fall on my sword.
No, I don't want that either. It's too easy. I want him to live the rest of his day in shame, only knowing that it's going to get worse when he meets his maker.
I think he should be sent to help out, like some nuns, some sisters in like India.
Not a bad idea.
Take care of the sick.
Go redeem
Truly
yourself.
take care of the sick in
go
India.
redeem yourself.
No, I mean, just go do that.
That's not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, take care of the sick and dying without experimenting on them.
Well, I'm out. I also heard that about Bill Gates. Like, there's several countries that Bill Gates is not allowed into because of drugs experimentation on the people. Yeah.
We also learned about the fertility rate crash, especially in big blue cities.
Surprises me though, Joey.
And one thing I forgot to share, but we might as well share it right now.
All right.
Coach Tuberville put out a thing. Now, everybody in the Senate's been at we learned about the Lindsey Graham funeral, and Trump gave a great speech.
Yeah.
And, as much as I disagree with Lindsey Graham on a lot of stuff, it's not difficult to believe that he probably was a shining personality. Like the guy could charm anybody, make anybody laugh. That said, all the senators, White House, everybody important's there. Coach Tuberville put this out because Trump's been fighting with the Senate about the Save America Act.
For ridiculous reasons.
Here's what Coach Tuberville had to say. The Senate has done nothing to deserve a 5-week break. We haven't funded the military. We are about to you like my Tuberville? We're about to let Democrats shut down the government, and our elections still aren't secure. The House has passed hundreds of bills. Other than the one big, beautiful bill, all the Senate has done is pass bills rebuking Trump and giving Democrats handouts. We have lost sight of the fact that our job is to deliver results for the American people.
Yep.
There's no issue I hear more about when I'm back home in Alabama than securing our elections. Under communist Joe Biden and Barack Obama, more than 15 million third world illegals invaded our country. These illegals are costing the American taxpayer billions of dollars and are planning to vote in our midterm elections in just 99 days. Because of this, the traditions of the Senate should no longer apply, says Tuberville. The American people didn't vote for a Republican Party obsessed with preserving their own power through a manufactured filibuster. They voted for a Republican Party that campaigned on fighting against the tens of millions of third world illegals who came here under Joe Biden and are looking to destroy this country. If we do not pass the Save America Act before November, Democrats will steal the 2026 and 2028 elections, and we will go back to Joe Biden's immigration policy on steroids under the new Communist Democrat Party. Now is the time to dig in, eliminate the manufactured filibuster, and start a new Senate tradition of actually getting things done for the Constitution and the American people. I'll be joining Senator Mike Lee in voting against any attempts to adjourn for recess. Americans didn't send us to D.C. to take a vacation. They sent us here to preserve the greatest country on earth.
He's going to be on my show Thursday morning.
Excellent. I love it when you have the coach
Thanks
on.
for the free plug.
Happy Hour with Greg Udell. He's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM.